from Jefferson. It was lively, it was attacking, it was great poise on the nose. Cole Robbins, everything was flowing and silky. Didn't have the opportunity for the hang 10, but really good long tight pocket hang 5s, riding his Wayne Rich boards there with the pulled in tails. Kai Salas on the wider nose boards there with the square tails perching up high on those hang 10s. Jefferson Silva on the more kind of pointy nose Luffy board, but still able to commit to a really committed in the pocket hang 10. Great display of slightly different styles, but all really strong nose riders.
Yep, so we've got 2 scores in for Kai Salas. His last one, a 7.17. Best wave of the heat so far. Still waiting on those opening scores for Cole Robbins, the right-hander, and Jefferson Silva with that quite a hollow left that he found with the end section link up as well. So some decent numbers to come in for all 3 surfers in the water. We've got 9 surfers remaining in the draw. 26 minutes time, we'll be down to the final 8. The first quarter final, Stephen Sawyer up against Tony Silvani. Second quarter final, wow, this is a big one. Taylor Jensen up against Harley Ingleby. So 5 world titles in that one quarter final. That could easily be a final. And then the bottom half of the draw, well, it's all Del Piero's at the moment. Edward will be in the first quarter final up against the winner of, well, no, he'll be coming up against whoever gets second in this heat. And then his brother Antoine will be coming up against the winner of this heat in the final of quarterfinal matchups.
So if you're tuning in California, your man Cole Robbins, he's just dropped a 6.23, which is a really strong start for Cole. Might be a keeper moving into the latter stage of the heat, or he might be able to replace that with 2 more good rides. Kai Salas has a 5.5 and a 7.17. So Kai in a commanding situation, the only surfer to have ridden 2 waves. But I'm very interested to hear the score drop for Jefferson Silva, because it was a much shorter ride, but it was explosive, it was critical. The judges dropping a 5.43, so perhaps demonstrating that the scoring potential just isn't as high on those lefts as these longer right-handers, Chris.
Yeah, most definitely. So 24.5 minutes to go. This is Cole Robbins. There's that moment of pause. He takes forever to get to his feet, but he does it as a matter of timing. Straight to the nose. Beautiful hang 10. Gets the Tin Soldier down at the beak of his craft. And linking it together with some turns. This wave looking like it might just peter out. So Cole is out of there. That will be his second score. He needs a 6.45 for the lead. I can't imagine that will be a bigger number than his first wave, but you never know.
Well, let's look at it again. So we got the setup, like you say. He kind of smoothly glides into this. He does the fade, 4 steps to the nose. I really love that hang 10. Really strong, great surfing, good smooth flowing footwork, pedaling back for a roundhouse rebound off the foam, looking for one more nose ride section. But that opening halo hang 10 and cut back, for me, it had a lot of poise, flow, great style. I think it could be the score he needs to move into first position, but it's going to be similar to that 6.23 that he's already scored. So will it change the situation? We'll have to see. Kai Salas will be looking to replace that 5.50. Priority is with Jefferson Silva. Is he going to react to the fact that he only got a 5.43 for what was a really well surfed wave where he did everything possible, but being the left, it was peakier, it had a good pocket, but it was a much shorter ride, and it was also dying in size the whole time, whereas sometimes the lefts can grow a little bit in size as they hit that shallower cobble section.
Yeah, so it's 23 minutes to go. Of course, we're running 35-minute heats in round 4. Just with the extra surfer, we add 5 minutes onto the clock. Once we get into the women's semis, we'll be moving things back to 30 minutes. Plenty of waves on offer. We saw 32 waves ridden in the first heat of the morning. The poor judges had their work cut out for them trying to figure out just which one of Phil Rasman, Stephen Sawyer and Harley Ingleby would take the win.
That was a great heat, wasn't it? And we just saw Phil Rasman there. It's great to see him still present at the event. He wants to He's quoted before saying that the other competitors are his masters. He learns from the other surfers. But Cole Robbins dropping a 4.17 for that wave, so it doesn't really change the situation. But look at him, poised on the nose on the Wayne Rich boards there with a really nice bolt upright hang 10, a Tin Soldier hang 10, as you call it, Chris. That's a really great phrase there. This guy, he surfs Rincon. He likes those open face, fast right handers. He's silky, he's smooth. He looked really good in yesterday's round, beating Josh Constable with a 15.24 two-wave combination, Cole Robbins will be really determined to get that inaugural world title here. These conditions could really suit him. I think that he's definitely a contender for the 2018 World Longboard Champs.
Yep, wheeled out the first hang heels we've seen for the event yesterday as well. A beautiful manoeuvre. Didn't end up going into his top two, but definitely sort of showing a little bit of his hand and saying, hey, I've got some tricks up my sleeve if need be. Have a look at this hang 10. Beautifully perched up there on the nose. Really precise footwork, and backs it up with that sweeping roundhouse cutback. And another one for good measure. Was looking for the nose, found it briefly as the wave sort of fattens out underfoot, but compared to the previous 4.17 that had twice as much fruit on offering, and you would imagine that's going to go close to his 6.23 that he opened up with. A 6.45 would move him into the lead. Jefferson Silva has a 5.43. He wants to cash in the priority he currently is holding on to and grab a 5.54 to move up into second. That's obviously going to change if Cole's last score goes in. Well, there it is, a 4.73. So goes into top two, increases Jefferson Silva's requirement to get from third to second. Doesn't change what Cole needs. Still chasing that 6.45 for the lead, as Kai Salas with a 5.5 and a 7.17 is our heat leader.
So some great nose riding there from Cole, but those scores coming in a little bit lower than I anticipated for the commitment and the control and the flow. Everything was so clean and precise, and those 10s were very, very critical, a high degree of difficulty. So Cole thinking now, what more can I give on these waves? He would have been proud with the way he performed on those rides, but they're not the scores that he needs to move into the quarter final. Currently Kai Salas in the lead. Cole is in second, but he knows he doesn't want to be carrying one of those fours. He's a 27-year-old from Santa Barbara, Rincon, and he's a real estate agent at Village Properties there. His twin brother Brett will be tuning in. Brett is also a really, really great surfer. Was a regular competitor at longboard events. Still a really good surfer there. Brett, if you're tuning in, I'm sure you're sweating out watching your twin brother Cole here in the heat of the action. And it's a hot day here in Taiwan. The temperatures are rising and the surfing is as sizzling as ever. We have 19 minutes remaining here. Salas in the lead with a 12.67. Robbins in second with a 10.96. Jefferson Silva waiting for a score to drop. Comes in at a 0.5. So doesn't change the situation. Jefferson in third, Cole in second, Kai in first, but Cole really, he'll want to lose one of those fours. He doesn't want to be carrying a four. The 6.23, we've seen surfers carry that as a second score and still win or get through heats, but right now live action as Kai Salas from Queens Beach, Waikiki there sets himself up for a nice section here. Nice high line there, 4 steps to the nose, stalls it on the 5. Really strong commitment to the 10 there. Beautiful commitment back to the 5 with a really good soul arch. Great footwork pedaling back and a cross step turn, but good opening nose ride, looking to replace that 5.50. And wow, I mean the flavor, the variety of that nose riding there. 5s, 10s, low, high, you know, really doing so much in that front 2 feet of the board.
Yeah, so this one is very much alive with 18 minutes and change to go. Kai Salas looking to get rid of that 5.5 and further extend his lead. Jefferson Silva, a minor score for that last wave, so he sat with priority for about 5 minutes, cashed it in and only picked up a 0.5. There it is, last wave for Kai Salas, a 5.57, so goes into his top 2, only just, but still further extends his lead. So Cole Robbins now looking for a 6.52.
And look at this, Chris. I mean, this is a real kind of textbook kind of lesson on nose riding. Look at the way he uses the stall there on the 10 and then slows himself down with the hand, and then see the soul arch. You know, it was actually functional the way he lent his body back to just keep that board trimming. So a great variety of nose riding on display. And even though all we saw was that front foot locked in the 5 the whole time and the 10 and back to the 5, there was enough flavour and variety and degree of difficulty to get a 5.57. Cole Robbins looking like he's got a really beautiful wall ahead and a tight 5 there, low on the wave as he accelerates back down. Here comes the big roundhouse cutback. He's going to rebound with speed. Is he going to get another section for another nose ride? He'll hoping to get just behind this pocket with the stalls. There's the footwork. Back up for the 5 coming up. Here's the 5. Can he get the 10? He does. Really nice 10 through the inside there. Great commitment from Cole Robbins. This is definitely going to go into his scoring rides. Cole Robbins really using that inside section to his advantage there.
Yeah, and great call there as well. Wanting to get behind that pocket and letting things a little bit more critical down the end. We've seen those last two waves of Cole's, the fours, where he hasn't really had that second section stand up. We're looking at the replay now of what Jeffson did on the left. So this one wave will be garnering a lot of points because we've seen Cole drop a score on the right, and now Jeffson is parked up on the nose on the left. Can he seal the deal? He can. He gives it a little fist pump. He's happy with that one as he kicks out.
Wow, great exchange there.
Here's the replay of what Cole got up to on the right. You can see the difference between the two wave shapes. This one more of an open face, gets a little bit more critical down the end. Jeffson's probably a little hollower from start to finish, but nowhere near the length. Right now, here's where he said he wants to get behind this section, and sure enough, it sort of backs up. He comes over this ridge and gets this great nose ride. You can see very little of his board as it's all lost back in the whitewater, sort of signalling just how critical that was from Cole, and that's going to be a good score. 16 minutes to go in this one. Very much a live ball game. All three guys putting big numbers on the board. And, well, we've got some numbers for the judges to work out before we can bring you the latest situation. But this one is very much going to be a three-way race between Jeffson Silva, Cole Robbins, and current heat leader, Kai Salas.
That was such a wonderful exchange there to see that peak split. Cole had priority. He wanted the right, but Jeffson Silva gave that nose ride absolutely everything. And surely it's going to be higher than that 5.43 we saw for his opening ride. He needs a 5.54 to move up into second position, but will Cole surely solidify his situation with the score that he's about to drop? Is it enough to put Cole up into the lead, or does it mean that Jeffson probably needed something in the high sixes? So the judges will be studying those videos. 5 judges. The scores are marked out of 10. 8 and above is in the excellent range. A 6.23 drop for Jeffson Silva. So it did change the situation, but only temporarily, because we're waiting for scores to drop. We might have to hang on for that as we see live action with a nice stall takeoff there up into a really good 5 to 10 combination, accelerating off the tail here. Big sweeping roundhouse rebound off the white water from Kai Salas from Hawaii, our reigning ISA World Longboard champion there. Sets himself up for this inside section. Will he get a little reform here for a nose ride? It looks so. There's the 5. Here comes the 10. And he moves back to the tail and completes that nose ride and gets a last drop knee turn before he kicks out onto the inside there, milking that wave right the way through as we wait for scores to drop for Cole Robbins. Is Cole going to have what he needs to move back up into second position? And is Kai Salas going to increase his lead with this incredible display of all-around longboarding from the Hawaiian?
Oh, he threw a bucket on that big turn, really displacing some water, and opened up with a strong nose work as well. So 13 minutes 45. All three surfers staying very busy, dropping plenty of big scores. They're going to be throwing away some solid numbers. And there is, speaking of solid numbers, the last wave for Cole Robbins. A 7.5, the best wave of this heat so far, and it puts him into the lead. So, with a 7.5 and a 6.23, Cole Robbins in the red jersey from California, Santa Barbara to be precise, is our new heat leader. Kai Salas has gone back to second, but we're waiting on that last number to come in for Kai. He's holding on to a 7.17. If his last wave is a 6.57 or above, he will move back into the lead. Jeffson Silva's sitting out the back with priority. His last wave was a 6.23. He now requires a 6.52 to get up into second. Of course, in round 4, first and second go through to the quarters, and third is eliminated. So not only is there a battle for first, there's definitely a battle for second as well. 13 minutes to go. Will that be lucky for Cole, Kai, or Jeffson? We've got a lot of action still to come in this one. Waiting on that last score of Kai Salas, which could be a crucial one. Anything more than a 5.57, and he will extend his lead, his hold on second place.
So here's a little recap of what we've seen so far. This is currently in second position, our surfer in the white jersey, Kai Salas from Hawaii, with some nice toe work. As we go over to Cole Robbins, his earlier ride coming in at a 6.23 there. Cole, really smooth and silky, great footwork and flow on his rich board there, and really connecting through to the inside section. But it was Kai Salas's bolt upright hang tens that were giving him the lead up until the last 7.5 dropped for Cole Robbins, and I love to see the variety demonstrated from Kai, but look at this wave here, and it's not just what happened on the outback, it was the way he used the inside section as well that really took the score from perhaps the 6s up into the borderline excellent range, coming in at a 7.5, and I think the way he used that final section for that last hang 10 really made the difference, and I think deservedly so, and a message to the other competitors that some waves still have scoring potential right through to the shore break.
Yeah, absolutely. So the length of the rights coming into play a little bit there, getting that second section and just allowing you the opportunity to sort of show off twice as much of your repertoire. And Cole Robbins, the 7.5, very much a decisive wave in this heat at the moment with 11:11 to go. Jefferson Silva has priority. He's looking for a 6.52 to move up into second. Kai Salas, his last wave came in at a 5.37, so a solid wave, but not good enough to go into his top 2. So that doesn't change his requirement for first or Jefferson's requirement for second. Cole Robbins, a 7.5 and a 6.23, setting the pace with 11 minutes to go.
So both Kai and Jefferson, they both run surf schools in their respective homes. Kai runs the Pro Surf School at Queens Waikiki on Oahu there, and Jefferson runs the Whale Beach Brothers Surf School in Sao Paulo. And right now on your screen in the white singlet there, we have Kai Salas with 2 steps up to the tip there. Really nice soul arch, arms up in the air, but not needing to connect through that section. He would have seen, he would have read and judged that wave didn't need him to stay committed. Taylor Jensen, he's just put on a phenomenal display. He's going to be surfing against Harley Ingleby man-on-man in the second quarter-final, but Soleil Errico, she is going to be coming up in the second semi-final against fellow Southern Californian Tori Gilkerson, and that is going to be really interesting to match up the young 17-year-old regular footer against the goofy footer who's a former world champion. There you can see another former world champion, Rachel Tilley, also out of Southern California. She's going to be surfing against the reigning world champion, Honolulu Bloomfield. Don't go anywhere, longboard fans. We're about to see some of the most exciting matchups in women's surfing right here at the Taiwan Open of Surfing, Binzi. We've got such a big morning ahead of us.
We'll have a look at just how much talent is on the screen there. Rachel Tilley's won a world title. Honolulu Bloomfield's won a world title. Taylor Jensen's won 3. Harley's won 2. And Soleil Errico would love to add her name to that list. So what a fantastic shot just then, just showcasing exactly the level of incredible surfers that we have here in Taiwan this week. It's the Taiwan Open of Surfing, World Longboarding Championship action getting down to the business end. It's the weekend, the sun's out, there's tons of fans here. There are a million photographers on the beach. The photography fanaticism is almost as big as the surf fanaticism around here in Taitung. There are feet of lenses lined up on the beach to capture every single bit of motion that goes down in the water, and things are shaping up. It's going to be another great week after this as well. The World Junior Championships ready to spring into action. All of those guys and girls are in town now, and yeah, good luck catching a wave with the best longboarders and the best juniors in the world, just clogging the lineups. But it's fantastic, and it's a beautiful part of the world. Thriving surf culture right here, and we've got 8 minutes remaining in this final round 4 matchup to decide the quarterfinals for the men's before we roll into the semi-finals of the women's. Right now it's Cole Robbins from Kai Salas with Jefferson Silva hot on their heels.
So he's got priority and he's got the pick of this wave. Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? I probably think he's going to go for the right-hander to keep Kai Salas off that wave, which he does. Backhand on the 5. Can he get the 10? There's the 10 on his Luffy board. Commitment to that 10. Hoots from the beach. Back up to a second 5. Now a little bit out of the pocket and consequently lost that wave. Needed to stay back in the pocket on that second hang 5 just to complete the maneuver. So yes, a great opening nose ride, but didn't give himself the opportunity to increase his scoring potential for the rest of the wave and get that 6.52. He needs to move into second position.
Well, was that a mistake from Jefferson, drifting off the back, and his score drifting away with it at the same time, a 3.33. I love the control on that first nose ride, and then the control wasn't there on the second as he's come off the back. And there we see our first semi-final matchup.
You can see Kira Seal there, also from Haleiwa. She's a very good friend of Honolulu Bloomfield. She put on a great display of surfing. Great to see her representing Hawaii at the World Longboard Championships there. Clear camaraderie between these women here. They're all good friends. They regularly travel and surf together. They're going to let their surfing do the talking, and in woman-on-woman conditions out here, hopefully there's going to be enough sets. They take their turns with priority. They don't have to hassle and hustle. The priority system, one of the great assets to competitive surfing, giving each surfer the opportunity to have their space, have their turn. But strategy, very important here with how you read the wave. Which wave are you going to choose? Because sometimes the bigger ones can be a little bit more peaky, and sometimes a medium-sized one hits that cobble and runs steep. And it's those steep sections that these surfers are looking for those critical nose rides. But it's that flow and that control between nose rides. We saw Jefferson Silva then going committed on a really critical hang 10, but when he went back up for the second nose ride, he just drifted wide out of the pocket, and he wasn't able to come back into that steep section of the wave to continue looking for that 6.52. But he's present in this heat. There's 5 minutes 40 seconds remaining, and the fact that he isn't in priority might help his situation, give him a little bit more of the freedom to roam and perhaps get the score he needs out of priority, Chris.
Yep, absolutely. There's no shortage of waves. It's only sort of a 7 or 8 second period today, so there's just going to be waves on waves on waves, and it's just a matter of ensuring that you are on the best ones, the ones that, not necessarily the bigger waves. The bigger waves aren't at all the best. They can often sort of burger out and not hit the bottom, run along the cobbles as you like, and give you those critical sections to bank bigger points. But yeah, you can't replace time in the water experience all over this massive playing field of a lineup when it comes to making sure that you are on the waves that offer you the best opportunity to bank big points. Here goes Jefferson Silva, currently in third, looking to get back into the fray.
So out of priority there, 4 steps up to the nose, good 5, good 10, back on the 5, back on the 10. Really good acceleration on that second 10. Needs to keep control here. Big blasting backhand re-entry there, using the footwork to see if he can come back round this section. See, this wave out of priority, it hit that inside cobble and really ran for him, and he commits to that last 5, but he comes into the deeper shoulder. You can see his partner Atalanta. There's Eduardo Bage, his teammate from Brazil. Wow. And is that a Pupo there? Is that Miguel Pupo's father perhaps watching? One of the kind of the fathers of Samuel and Miguel, who are both Samuel will be representing Brazil in the World Juniors coming up here, as we see Jefferson Silva there with the 5. There's the 10. There's the 5. Look at this second 10. Look at the acceleration there on the Luffy board. Nearly loses it, but bangs it hard off the top. This might well be the score that he needs. Is the time now for Kai Salas to answer back if the situation changes, or is this not quite enough from the Brazilian from Sao Paulo?
Who'd be a judge, hey? That is our 14 waves already ridden in this heat. We've still got 3.5 minutes to go. This is a critical number dropping for the Brazilian.
So needs a 6.52 to move into second position. So Cole is in the lead with that 6.23 and that 7.5. Kai Salas is in second with the 7.17 and the 5.57. Kai Salas is in second priority. Cole is in priority. Jefferson waiting for that last score to drop. If he gets a 6.52, it puts him up into second position, and it means that Kai will be chasing a similar score, maybe something in the probably in the high 6s, for him to move back into second position. So there's 3 minutes remaining here. So the judges will be studying that footage. The 5 judges deliver a score out of 10. The highest and the lowest are eliminated, and an average is taken from the remaining 3 scores. And the top 2 scores count. They combine to make that total heat score. But right now, there's some lines there coming very near the surfers. Cole Robbins is in priority. Is he going to have the clean line on this? He's kept Kai Salas off that wave. There's something behind for Kai Salas. 4 steps to the nose from Cole. Really good opening hang 10. And what a beautiful silky smooth section. And look at that clean footwork. Even using the footwork midway through the cutback there just to keep that board trimming and gliding, and a big Powerful float re-entry there to reconnect through to this last section, but will there be more scoring potential? And has Kai Salas got something on the outside? And the judge is still awaiting to drop that score for Jefferson Silva, but this might increase Cole's lead. Is that going to replace his 6-2-3? It might well do that. Wow, all happening as every heat has been. I mean, it really, the concentration of waves here in this kind of lower period small swell is actually really favoured longboarding, and these 3-man heats has been so busy. But Chris, let's have a little look at this. 4 steps to the nose, love that. Love the really good, nice tight 5 there. It was a quick 10, longer 5, a little bit out of the pocket here, but only responding to what the wave delivers, but getting this nice powerful tail attack there, and then looking to reconnect with this inside section. Will it be higher than the 6-2-3? I don't think it'll be as high as his 7-5, but it might well increase his lead, meaning that both Jefferson and Kai need more to get into first, but it's really now a battle for second between Kai and Jefferson, as Jefferson drops a 5-1-3, so it wasn't enough for Jefferson to move into second position. So Kai is still in second. Jefferson still chasing that 6-5-2.
Yep, and Kai has priority. So Cole, taken from that last wave, has handed first priority to Kai Salas. Minute to go. We can see him standing up on his board, having a look out to sea. He really wants to make sure that he gets the best read on any waves that come through in this remaining 50 seconds. He's doing it again. He's, well, the two guys
really near each other.
Heading north as Kai.
So Kai's really got to hold Jefferson off on this wave. I think if you watch that ride of Jefferson's and you thought they should have come up higher, I think what the judges penalised him on was control. It was wobbly. You know, yes, it was critical, but he just needed a bit more control and flow through those manoeuvres to really get closer to the score that he needed. But down into the last 17 seconds, Kai Salas with priority. Jefferson Silva's going for this wave. He's going to have to give it everything, and he's a 6.52. He's going to set up with a drop knee turn, 4 steps. There's the 5, there's the 10. It's a much smaller wave. Is it going to give him the scoring potential? There's still something to come. Big re-entry. It won't be the 6.52 he needs. So Cole Robbins and Kai Salas booked themselves spots in the man-on-man quarterfinals. So coming up against Edward Del Pero will be Kai Salas, and coming up against Antoine Del Pero will be Cole Robbins. So congratulations Hawaii and USA, commiseration Sao Paulo, Brazil, but great performance from Jefferson Silva. But do not go anywhere, longboard fans, because coming up very soon we're going to have Rachel Tilley surfing against reigning world longboard champion from Hawaii, Honolulu Bloomfield, surfing in the first semi-final of the Women's World Longboard Championships here at the Taiwan Open of Surfing.
Hello, Take Two. We all know that you're stoked for the World Surf League Longboard Championship in Taiwan.
I wish I could be there to join riding those tasty, amazing waves.
I've heard the best things about Taiwan. Beautiful island, the most amazing coastline.
Don't forget about the green water and the blue skies.
You are part of something deeper. Welcome home.
This is badass!
We hope that our new movie, Aquaman, will inspire you.
Now get out there and become the next champion of the sea.
Be sure to catch Aquaman on the big screen this December.
The war is coming to the surface.
Arthur!
I'm not a king.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more. A hero.
And welcome back to the WSL Taiwan Open of Surfing the World Longboard Championships. We are into the semifinals of the women. 3 minutes have elapsed in semifinal number 1, and we've only had one wave ridden, and that's by the woman from the United States, Rachel Tilley. Hano Blomfield is waiting for her first wave. You see the yellow Jeep leader jersey next to her name. She is the 2017 world champion. This is Wingnut in the booth with Shannon Brooke Hughes. We are going to bring you live action through the semifinals. And now let's take a quick look at Rachel Tilley's first wave. Sets up that turn, nice cross-step footwork to the nose, 5 to a 10, nice composed 5, holds on through that section. All that white water breaking on the tail of her board does not flummox her whatsoever. Another nice 5 to 10, very strong opening wave from Rachel Tilley, and you know how much she likes to have that first wave of a heat, Shannon.
Absolutely. It's putting that exclamation point down. She is here to compete, but she is here to have fun as well. She has been saying it all morning. The waves look absolutely amazing. She's really stoked to be in the lineup. And we have Honolulu having a look. Actually, that's Rachel, I think, back out of backline in the red jersey. Honolulu Bloomfield, our reigning women's world longboard champions, sitting in gold, maintaining that jersey all the way through to the semifinals. Will she be able to get back-to-back titles this year in Taiwan?
This is the semis are fantastic. We have 3 current and past world champions and the one young upstart in Soleil Erico who's going to be in semi number 2. But this is all about the youngsters, the Hawaiian versus the Southern Californian. Although she's recently relocated for educational purposes, Rachel Tilley is now living in Australia, going to uni. All right. While we are waiting for some live action, we're going to jump down with Cole Robbins and Binzi, the results of the last heat.
Through to the finals, Cole Robbins. Mate, how good are conditions out there this morning?
Oh, it's phenomenal. The wind's slightly offshore. The waves are perfect. It's a little soft, but it's great for our boards. I kind of switched my fin system up a little bit, and I couldn't be more pleased.
Run us through your strategy going into that heat up against Kai Salas, who's obviously one of the big names in this event.
Yeah, Kai, Jefferson, they're such good surfers, and I know that they're phenomenal nose riders, so I kind of decided to put a single fin in my board and really just focus on the nose riding in that heat, especially in this size of surf. It's perfect for it, and I was just really happy to get that one set wave that lined up, and I got the score, and I couldn't be more happy.
Every wave you paddle into, you take that big pause before you get up. Are you just sort of looking down the line and planning your attack, or what's the strategy there?
Yeah, I like to kind of pick and choose my lines and kind of stick with that. I feel like when I start the wave with a good flow, it kind of helps in that end result going well for me. So if I start it kind of unstable or unsure, it doesn't work too well. So that's kind of what the pause is for.
And you're into the quarterfinals now. On hold, would you be happy for the event to keep running, or what's the plan? Watch the girls in action now as well?
Yeah, as long as there's still waves coming through, I'd be happy running. I'm happy with whatever anybody wants to do. The conditions are perfect today. It's been so windy the past few days, and today and tomorrow look great in that case. So I'm excited. I'm ready to keep going.
And there's a big Californian presence on the women's side of the draw. What's going on with you guys? Plenty of energy around you this week.
Yeah, I guess we're all fired up and ready for it. I think we want to bring the women and the men's trophy back to California, the United States of America. We're excited, and you know, in the clean conditions, a lot of us grow up on right point breaks, so I think it kind of really helps suit our styles, and it's going well so far.
All right, well, let's hope it keeps going well deeper into the draw. Good luck with the rest of the event.
Oh, thank you so much, and shout out to all my family, my brother, Ali, everybody. I love you guys, all my friends, family back home, and everybody in the world. You know, thank you so much for watching and cheering us on. It means everything to us, so thank you so much.
All right, back up to you guys in the box.
All right, thank you, Binzi. As we're picking up another quick wave, there's Rachel Tilley putting a second one on the scorecard. A little bit shorter wave there, but she's staying busy. And we saw that at the start of Cole's heat, where the surfers had kind of been pulled a little bit to the south, and it was Cole's first wave that helped relocate him to the northern end, and he started seeing the whole wave, the whole setup from that northern angle. And those rights are so friendly. So let's take a look at it. See how she's setting up on the run there? She's a little bit behind the peak, so she's running into it, and that sets up for that nice nose ride. Nice and clean, cut back there. Not the biggest wave, not the longest wave, but it's keeping her warm. She didn't have priority, not losing any positioning at all. We see Hano outside, taking a look at the first wave of the set here.
Absolutely gorgeous conditions in Honolulu, getting her campaign underway. Great wave selection. Nice little fade takeoff goes for that hang 5. Will it start to stand up for her on the inside? Nice little slash, putting some power into that turn. Back to the nose, getting a little bit of air underneath the nose there on her hang 5, hang 10 combination. Good tight footwork. A little bit of pumping there to get herself back into that pocket, and now it starts to stand up. That little corner right on the reef getting some tail work in the mix, and she'll pull out of that one. So this heat is underway. Rachel Tilley opened up with a 7.17 as her opening ride. Absolutely excellent surfing to start off with. We do have scores to come through for second of Rachel and first of Honolulu Bloomfield. We have just over 20 minutes on the clock, and semifinal number 1 is going down.
Here we go. Let's take a look at Hano's wave again. Sets up with that nice little setup turn, takes her time getting the nose. Nice clean 5, trimming across, resets, puts herself back in the pocket, heads to the nose as the wave's going to stand up and get real steep underneath her again for another nose ride. And again, a third time to the tip right there. And then she's going to set it up as that little west peak comes in, and she's going to use it to change directions, come in with another nice turn there. So a lot of variety for Hano's wave. Will be interesting to see how that scores with those 3 nose rides compared to Rachel Tilley's. Oh, yeah.
All right. So
we're on.
we are on. This is so exciting. I mean, we had a great showdown from the men's round 4 this morning with those 35-minute heats. We had 3 men in the water. Now with the girls, back to 2 surfers, 30 minutes. There are plenty of waves coming through. Almost too many waves in those 35-minute heats. Most surfers had like 10 waves per guy. So we're just kind of realizing that the ocean is delivering today.
And it was interesting in those 3-man heats. Priority almost became, a chain around your neck that held you back, because some of the surfers kept waiting, thinking, "Oh, I've got to wait and use this on the best possible wave." And a few surfers stole those heats by being underneath by priority and being able just to stay busy and take advantage of staying away from the priority gatekeeper. And so Tony Silvani did that extremely well in his heat. The strong competitor. And you look at Rachel getting away now, moving a little bit to the north. You can see the water photographer in there, and that's a really good indicator because he kind of hangs on that kind of larger north peak. Now let's watch Rachel set up this wave. Comes into this one. There's that little setup turn that lets you get to the nose nicely, clean, running out onto the face a little bit. So she sets her cut back, puts herself back in the pocket. The way that board climbs up to the face lip of the wave. Gets another turn there, coming back out of the nose ride. Another turn. None of the really big, long, hung out there nose rides, but a lot of time using her footwork, using that footwork to create energy. So another nice wave for Rachel right there. Her second wave, that shorter one, came in at a 3.83, and Hano getting a 5.93 for hers.
All right, so nice little fade straight into that hang 5, stuck on there. Like you said, racing away from the pocket a little bit, but she realizes that. She does that nice cruisy cut back to that tap to the 10, gets 10 toes fully over, and now another little rebound into the foam, just setting herself up for that next nose ride. Like you said, she's using her footwork so many steps between the tail and the nose of that board, at least 8, and it's using that footwork to keep her momentum going and to keep that glide factor
right
down.
And it keeps you moving, and you'll see them drop to the bottom of the wave as they come out of that turn. All the steps up to the nose, that's that momentum carrying forward, and then if there's not a steep section, they're back to the tail and turning. That's just good surfing in the pocket, staying with the energy of the wave. Now we've got a clean one outside for Hano. Doesn't like the way that looks, and they're going to be looking down at the long shoulder of that wave, and will it have a connecting arm through that bigger peak that comes from the north? And now Hano is repositioning.
So she's repositioning to a place that she is normally sitting at in the water. She generally sits on that north peak, almost too wide, but she just has this sense in the water of when those good waves come through, and that's what we've seen, how we saw her walk through her world championship last year.
And the beauty of sitting that wide is it allows you to fade into these peaks. So see it there. There's a 5, there's a 10 to 5, holding it back to 10. Not a super steep face of that wave, but definitely enough to have comfortable nose rides on it. A couple little slash turns to put herself back in the pocket. Quick 5 to 10, goes back to the middle of the board, keeps the trimming going. And the last score from Rachel Tilley coming in at a 5.37. So the battle is on here. Strong numbers, and Rachel's up again. Here's the fierceness of Rachel Tilley, and also wanting to have fun because waves look really fun.
It looks so fun. I mean, these girls are just making it look like the most glorious break in the world. Perfect for the potential finals finish for the Women's World Longboard Champion. We could have a title crowned today. Honolulu, she's going to get out to backline first, but Rachel Tilley is going to put a good, strong paddle in, Priority will be established in just a moment with 16 minutes on the clock. We've got scores to drop in for last of Tilly, last of Bloomfield, and this heat has been amazing so far. I mean, there's so many good waves.
I liked watching when Rachel kicked out right there. You know, it looked like she was kicking out almost right in tandem with where Hana was, and Hana looked over her shoulder like, are we going to do this? Are we going to have a paddle battle? And no, it's just both heading out. And I think there's so many waves, and they're of such equal caliber, really. It's going to give the athletes a chance just to relax and surf. I mean, if you know how busy this lineup has been, to have 30 minutes out with the conditions like this and this many waves, you just be frothing to get waves.
Oh, honestly, I think that's it. It's so good this morning, and you don't have to deal with any of the other surfers in the water.
And, you know, and again, I think that's where a little bit of the priority becomes a burden, because you think you should wait for something special as opposed to just kind of froth around on all the good waves.
Right.
And I don't mean to take, 13 waves like one of our competitors did earlier in the day, but have a good time and really refine what you can do with these waves. We've got incoming tide all morning, so it's just beautiful. The sun is up, it is warm on the beach, it's about 80 degrees. There's Nick Jones right there. He's been frothing and surfing around on all sorts of equipment since he was eliminated from the men's contest, but staying in touch with the event, supporting all the surfers. As you said, it is a family of longboarders that compete together around the world, and it's only once a year when everybody's really in the same spot.
And we have Honolulu, that replay. So nice quick hang 10, hang 5, hang 10 combination, really tight steps. I love watching the footwork from the girls because they get into that back quarter of the board and they still cross step on the tail. But here she goes back to the nose. Great hang 10 in the pocket and continues through to the inside section, putting a lot of power into those turns. She's an excellent shortboarder. She has won the women's QS here at the Taiwan Open of Surfing when it's been a shortboarding event. So she's a really well-rounded competitor, and it's good to see her using that variety of maneuvers as well.
It is definitely a lot of fun being had by everyone around here, and you're pointing out, you're commenting on the footwork, which is such an integral part of good longboarding, and to see people that can maintain that composure through every aspect of their turns and surfing and walking. I mean, I think probably the surfer that has surprised me the most over the last couple of years has been Steven Sawyer, because he came out of such a strong shortboard background, but he wanted to adhere to the quality of great longboarding, and he will never shuffle. He always brings his feet back cleanly. He'll even walk forward another step because he realized he misjudged his walk back, so he can have clean footwork. And it's that kind of attention to detail to me that I just love that in the surfing, and the judges are seeing it, and they're being critical on complete walks versus the shuffling and real nose rides, where the toes are hanging over as opposed to 2 or 3 inches back from the nose. And I think the judges have done a wonderful job throughout this event. The correct surfers have been advancing.
Exactly. The correct surfers have been making it through heat after heat, and that is what we want to see. We are crowning the world champion here in Jinsun Harbor, Taidong, Taiwan. It is a gorgeous day. That sun came up the sun comes up early every day.
But we can see it today.
But we can see it, and that's different. Those first few days, it was really overcast most of the days, which is really nice because it keeps the temperatures down and it keeps the wind away. But with that early peaking sunshine hitting our skin right, about 6:30 this morning, we were worried about that wind coming up. It's already 9:30 a.m., 3 hours of full sunshine, and that wind is on the water, but it has stayed so pristine at the same time. Just that tiny bit of offshore, which almost just adds to the beauty of everything.
Yeah,
it just puts that little bit of spray coming off.
Yeah, it definitely is helping out the rights. The lefts are actually almost glassy and smooth because that direction is just so perfect as it kind of swings around the point here at the harbor.
Beautiful area of the world that we get to spend our weekend. There is this gorgeous landscape of green mountains stripping behind us. There are waterfalls galore if you just drive up and down the coast here and keep an eye on the mountains. Of course, not if you're driving, but if you're the passenger like me. Keep an eye on the mountains. There are waterfalls everywhere. There's these hot springs. It's a lot of geothermal activity, and so there's some really great hot spring kind of pools that we can visit in this area. There's some near Taipei where I was at earlier this week, or last week. And there's just some amazing things like that. But we are going to take a break from the action, and we're going to go down to the beach and catch up at what is the feel like. Sam Bleakley is down there trying to capture the moment during the semifinal.
Well, we're certainly in the heat of the action here. I'm with a big fan of longboarding, Andrew Calder's. You know, you're a wonderful photographer as well as the many things that you do, but you've been coming to Taiwan for so many years. You know, how is it to witness these two women out there surfing at the highest level of longboarding?
This is the greatest pinnacle of longboarding that you get to see. Excellent conditions, beautiful waves and beautiful surfing. I think this is just something that more people should be able to see. It's great that it's broadcast live. And to see them, the emotions that you feel, riding the waves with them, it's great, Sam.
And you've seen both of these two women rise through the ranks. You've seen them both being crowned world champions before. You know, psychologically, who do you think's got the edge out of Honolulu and Rachel right now?
Oh, psychologically, that's a hard one. I mean, Rachel's ahead on the score. Confidence is a very big thing in the surfing game, so her confidence will be up. Honolulu, as time ticks by, will be more and more frantic, and that erodes your confidence. So, you know, confidence is everything in a heat like this, especially when waves aren't coming all the time. There's a little bit of a lull. Rachel wants it to go quicker. Honolulu wants it to go slower, you know, for the waves to come. So it's a roller coaster.
Tip for the title for the men's division?
Oh, I don't know that I can do that, Sam. I think I'll lay low on that one.
Andy, it's a pleasure to have you here. You know, you're a real bright, positive spark. I know the surfers value your presence. I'm going to go to another legend of Australia, Nick Jones. Nick, tell us about the conditions out there for longboarding. I bet you'd like to be out there competing for a world title right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there today. It's dropped off a little bit, but the wave's still consistent. They're finding really nice, clean faces, and they're holding up. The past few days, it's been a little bit dead through the middle section. The girls have found some that have held up, and yeah, they're doing really well.
And what do you think's really making the difference with the chance to get those scores up into the excellent range? You know, when we're seeing the 9s and the 8s, what's that extra bit of zap that the surfers really need to deliver for those bigger scores?
Well, I think all these girls, and the guys as well, but they're all surfing so well. I think it comes down to the waves they choose and whether the wave actually offers the biggest section out the back and flows all the way through, or whether it sort of shoulders out.
And we got another big semi-final coming up. Soleil Errico surfing against Tori Gilkerson. You know, who do you think's got the advantage in that one?
Well, that's a hard one to pick. You know, both girls are such champions. I mean, Tori is a world champion and she's got that experience behind her, but Soleil is she's just the up-and-comer, and she's got she's really turned some heads this event. And I've seen her growing up from surfing in events back home and over in California as well. I saw her this year and she just rips, so it's going to be a tough heat. I'm not going to be able to put my finger on which one's going to win or whatever, but I'm excited to watch it.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's even Stevens. Nobody willing to put their money on any surfer here. This is some of the best longboarding you'll see right here, right now, the World Longboard Championships. I'm going to go back to you, Shannon, and Wing that. Continue commentating on this incredible semi-final.
Thank you for that, Sam. And Shannon, I feel the same thing. There's no clear favorite. As we discussed earlier, I think there's less pressure on Soleil than anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, so she almost comes in, you know, potentially looser and more relaxed for that. And it's just going to be, are you going to stay busy? Now, we've been sitting for almost 5 minutes with Hano having priority and not going. And I think that freedom, as you're going to see Rachel Tilley probably go again on another wave, and it's almost like give away priority and don't worry about it. Look, and Rachel Tilley taking the first left. I know Tori Gilkerson's going to like seeing that. Let's see what kind of action she can put together on the rest of this wave. That was a really nice critical backside nose ride. Gets a clean 10 of those feet right together. Nice little re-entry on that. So that's going to be a nice addition to her score line. And just adding pressure.
Adding pressure to Honolulu. Rachel's last wave came through at a 6.93, so 2 great scores on the board, but another score to drop through the first left. I like that mention of Tori Gilkerson, the goofy foot, coming up in our next heat. She is hungry for lefts, but she knows that the rights are where the scoring potential has been for the majority of it, so she'll factor that into her wave selection. She's working with Jared Neal, her boyfriend, who is a competitor on the men's side, excellent surfer, so for the two of them to kind of, you know, they would be studying this heat as we go. But what I was just thinking about is knowing Soleil doesn't have the pressure on her because she's done so good. She just gets to run through this and see what happens. I actually have the feeling that Rachel doesn't have pressure on her either. She's got so much going on in the background. We've been talking about her education. She's studying at Bonn University. She's got a lot of great stuff going for her. She's living in a different country in Australia as opposed to California right now. Like, a lot of really fun things in the background where her focus is. In every conversation that I've had with her, especially before those heats, she says she's really just here to have fun and see how it goes.
And she seems real happy when she's surfing.
Really,
so
really happy.
It's not that she doesn't have the, not putting on, like, game face of this is super, this is the only thing going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a nice analysis of where her head is at. And again, I love the fact that, watching her without priority run around and surf and have a good time out here.
Right, where Honolulu Bloomfield, I mean, one of the most graceful competitors of all time within the women's longboarding scene, she has all the pressure on her right now.
Yeah,
almost the way to the Worlds, because she is the current world champion. To get that second result 2 years in a row.
To defend, right.
I feel like within the women's side of things, that may be the reason why we haven't seen the back-to-back champions over the years. Kalia Muniz was maybe the last one to really get a couple of world titles under her, but for the last 4 or 5 years, it's been a single champion every year, which is great because we're seeing a new girl rise to the occasion and make it through to crown at the end. But that pressure factor of coming in with the expectation on you to get it again, that's really intense.
So we just saw that nice wide-angle shot, and you can see some sets coming in on the horizon, and Hano's going to finally use that priority on this first wave here and get herself moving again. Nice setup turn there, clean 5, nice tight footwork there, comes back, driving down the line, little re-entry there, and so I think that just got rid of that priority, but I knew there were a bunch of waves there, and sure enough, Rachel Tilley is going to take advantage of it. Nice, clean nose ride there, steep, critical part of the wave, great footwork. Again, does her roller coaster off that section, and she's going to project around it where there's still some great energy in the second half of that wave. So Rachel winning that exchange by not having the priority at the start of that. But I love the fact that Hano just wanted to jump and go. Now, it's almost bad that she has priority again going back out, but maybe there'll be enough surf coming that she'll, she knows she needs scores. She's going to have to stay busy because she really needs to get rid of both of those waves if she's going to have a chance to take the lead away from Rachel Tilley and to move on into the final.
Right.
So now we're getting into the really nervous part of the heat for Hano and her friends.
And I feel like this heat has really flown by. We're already down to 4 minutes left on the clock. Tori Gilkerson, she is the reigning ISA World Longboard Champion. She's the 2016 WSL World Longboard Champion. She won basically back-to-back events in Hainan in China because WSL was there in 2016, came to Taiwan, and then the ISA returned there at the beginning of this year in 2018. So she's really familiar with winning on a left. For her to be thrown into these rights, that's where that kind of interesting factor gets played into her surfing.
So on paper, looking at being a goofy foot in that heat, that kind of it's definitely puts her a little challenged compared to Soleil, who is the regular foot.
Right.
So you've got the Grom, no pressure, and a regular foot against the goofy foot trying to gain another world title. And so it's a pretty even then when you're looking at how the odds are.
It really is. And a Grom who's grown up at Malibu, so surfing perfect right. So for her to not just to be a regular foot, but it depends on the type of wave you're used to surfing. To be on rights all the time, this is her game all the way. And another big score, biggest score of the heat so far, a 7.77 for last of Rachel Tilley. She is just inching herself away from Honolulu Bloomfield, the reigning world longboard champion. Hano chasing a 9.01. Now, Honolulu can totally get that score if she gets on the right wave. Rachel had the better of that set. That second wave was definitely the wave with the power and the wall that ran.
It was the priority that held Hano looking for something magical, and Rachel was able to get those scores underneath. I mean, you now look at it, she dropped a 5.37 and a 6.93 and a 5.47 without priority. She dropped some pretty good scores in there without priority and stayed really in tune with the energy. Like, over a half-hour heat, catching a wave every, 5 minutes or so, 4 or 5 minutes, really keeps you kind of in tune with the rhythm and the speed and everything that's going, as opposed to Hano, who's had 3 waves. I mean, that's a wave every 10 minutes. That's not quite apparently now, looking back on it, I can say not quite enough. I mean, a lot of that's the way Taylor plays a heat.
Yep.
Very selective. But now the pressure's on. She's got priority. Got a little wave setting up on the outside here. It's hard for us to tell from this angle looking at the monitor what this wave is going to do. It's not going to do anything interesting enough for Hano to go. This is all playing into Rachel's favor. She's the one, wishing the Earth would spin a little faster for the next 90 seconds.
Absolutely. So Rachel, since she got that start out with that 717 as her opening ride, I think that freed her up to be active. Where generally, if Rachel is sitting without that big score on the board, she'll sit for 15 minutes without catching a wave. Makes my heart race every time. Her parents back home, Glenn and Lori, her brother Michael on the beach, that's the kind of pressure that she brings to it because she's really patient. She does the same thing as Taylor. There's Hano's dad, though, on the beach. He is in the water so much this week. I think he's been surfing more than almost anyone, but you can see that anxiety factor. If a set comes through, Hano's definitely got the potential to get a perfect 10, that 9.01 that's required.
So we're under a minute now, and Hano is moving a little bit north. If a set comes in, there's just enough time for both surfers to get a wave. Hano with priority. Remember the last time there was an exchange like this, it was the second wave that Rachel got that had the better scoring potential. But this one's looking really nice at the start.
Wow.
Here goes Hano. Nice setup turn here, gets to the nose. Quick 5 though, right? Not as steep. Sets it up again. Stalling, getting that footwork, 5 to quick 10, but not a really locked in one as that wave had so much speed down the line. Gets another nice slashing cut back there. This is going to end up being a good score, but I do not think it's going to go into the excellent range and give Hano the victory.
Great surfing from the Hawaiian Honolua Bloomfield, our reigning world longboard champion. A score to drop through, but I don't know that it will scratch that 9.01 required. Rachel Tilley absolutely on fire, looking for her spot in the finals.
It's not official, but we both think that Hano's last wave, I don't think we'll get into that range, so we're going to say an early congratulations to Rachel Tilley. We'll let the judges make the final call. Great surfing by both women, no question about it.
Absolutely. So proud of them. What they've brought to the world longboard scene, what they've showcased for the world this week is just the most beautiful surfing I think I've ever seen.
Really nice professional work, ladies. We'll be back with the official results and the next heat after this.
写什么？你看什么？你们赶快啊！混啊！你写3天，我改8、7次，是不是不想看啊？
有一种爽，交给老板1巴掌。爽皮送 beer。
And welcome back to the action. Flying across your screen, Tori Gilkerson, the 2016 WSL World Longboard Champ. Oh no, unfortunately goes down, the commentator's curse, but beautiful opening hang 5. And we have the official announcement, Rachel Tilley into the finals there next to Will Hayden Smith, our longboard commissioner. Her little brother Michael here cheering her on and helping her out. So excited, so well surfed, and so well deserved to be booking her spot into the final.
Well done, Rachel. We'll get a quick look at Tori's wave from the takeoff in a second. That's not the way how she wanted to end it, but I like her getting busy early, streaking along that wave where we saw her coming. It was just came unglued on that cutback. All right, so priority now on the outside with Soleil Erico in red, the youngster we talked about that should have no pressure on her whatsoever. Like you said, growing up at a right-hand point break as her primary wave, she's got to be really happy with this, but she gets to travel up and down California a lot, as well as to other places, so she's got good experience in getting to apply it here at Jinsun Hava. So Rachel's going to wander over for a chat with Sam. We'll pick up that in a minute. But let's take a quick look at our setup out here. It's a very trestles-like wave with a nice short punchy right and sometimes a longer left, but so far today the right's been the best.
And Tori grew up in San Clemente, so she's a San Clemente local, trestles being one of her home breaks, San Onofre the other. This is her type of wave as far as where she's been born and bred from surfing. So I wouldn't put it past her in the slightest to just find her rhythm, enjoy these kind of small days. It even reminds me of Sano. It's a little bit more punchy than that can be sometimes, but it's that same cobblestone bottom, very, very similar to that San Onofre trestles.
Yeah, and it's warm water. Everybody's real comfortable. This is really the nicest conditions we've seen all week. It's nice to see the women getting to run their semifinals in these conditions. And now priority with Soleil Erico. I mean, it's just a really fun-looking wave today.
Absolutely. So 27 minutes on the clock. We are in 30-minute semifinals. Our first women's finalist, Rachel Tilley, just took out the reigning world longboard champion, Honolulu Bloomfield. And we will now be deciding our second finalist. Our women's event will more than likely be finishing up today. We will crown a women's world longboard champion. The conditions are staying absolutely gorgeous. It's still early in the morning here, and we have a little paddle battle taking priority, Soleil Erico.
That was interesting. You know, we have a priority situation, so Soleil definitely having it, but Tori wanting to put pressure on her to go because that was looking like a really good wave. So Soleil getting her first wave here. Looks like the inside section, and that's where that little trough is between those two peaks, and it's not going to connect. So we're going to jump down to the beach with Rachel and Sam. We'll get back with scores after that.
Well, having just booked herself a place in the 2018 World Longboard Championship final, Rachel Tilley, that performance was electric. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Obviously, but yeah, that heat just kind of went by in a blur and just paddled out. I actually was feeling really good and calm before. Unlike this morning, I was really anxious when I woke up this morning. So got a good free surf before the contest started and just kind of got those nerves out in the free surf and was able to go out there and just enjoy surfing in a jersey, and it worked out.
And so much poise on the nose, you know, all of those long nose rides. You just look so sure and assertive in your kind of positioning on the waves. Is that from just having free surfed here a lot, or was that just the boards or just that confidence?
I think it's a combination of everything. Just the boards have been increasingly feeling better under my feet, and pretty much I paddled out there knowing if I don't get a hang 10 on the wave, I'm not going to get the score I need to beat Honolulu. So, because I knew she would be doing that, you know. So anytime got up on the wave, I was like, okay, need the hang 10, and if I don't get it, then it's not a wave that will be scoring. So, yeah, I really focused on that, and it worked out.
And perhaps an advantage is the fact that yesterday you were writing an assignment for your university course. So is that helping, the fact that you've got this lovely balance at the moment between doing your studies and advancing your career as one of the great pro longboarders?
Yeah, I got pretty close to finishing. I'm not completely finished, but I got pretty close to finishing. So that did get some stress off of me yesterday with them calling us off, and just got to use the day. Surfed in the morning, worked on the assignment throughout the day. So yeah, I got to wake up this morning thinking, let's just focus on the event.
And you got your brother Michael here with you. I think I said before that he seems to be your lucky charm. You know, why are you feeling so good about things with having a family member with you here traveling?
The last event that when I was younger, my mom always traveled to events with me, or my dad, and you know, my brother and I have never done a solo trip like this together to an event, and he understands waves, he understands heat surfing, and so he's just been a really good person for me to speak completely honestly to before heats, you know, like, hey, I'm really nervous, I'm not feeling good, and he can talk me through that instead of always, you know, acting like, oh no, it's all good, because sometimes before heats, you know, I don't feel good, and to work through that with him, he helps me work through that, so that's really good.
Well, you might need to get ready for the final. We're not sure if we're going to be running that, but a message for your fans back home in the States.
Thank you for watching, and I hope that one was a little less stressful to watch, and yeah, hopefully the finals go well.
Well, we're loving watching you, going for a second world title, Rachel Tilley, but right now out in the water. What's the situation, Shannon and Wingno?
Rachel, second score comes in for Tori Gilkerson, a 5.50. So she's put a better number on the board than Soleil's first wave, the 4.60. So two good scores for Tori, one good score for Soleil. Very early on in this heat, there's a lot of time left. Priority with Soleil. You can see how they've kind of separated. Tori wanting to stay a little bit away, trying to see if she can sneak something out underneath Priority, and that's what worked really well for Rachel.
Exactly. Tori would have been paying close attention to that. So would Soleil. So we shall see what happens as far as that priority situation. It definitely seemed to hinder Honolulu in that last one. Yeah, there's still plenty of waves. 22 minutes on the clock. Tori Gilkerson currently sitting in the lead. Soleil chasing a 5.08, but she'll be patient. There is so much time left for them to wait out those sets, the waves that will link together. Give them, like Rachel said, that opportunity for the 10s. They're going to have to hang 10s in order to get the scores that they need.
And it was really interesting for me to hear her mindset about realizing that if I don't get a 10, I will not be able to outscore Hano, knowing that that's such a strong part of her game. I mean, I think that's a great, strong part of both of their games, but looking at their nose riding versus wanting to get a big turn, wanting to get these other things in it, how they, how she analyzed it. It was very interesting. Look at the set stacking up on the outside. Soleil with priority, Tori without. Tori might even be looking at nicking off a left out of this first set wave here.
Wow, this is a beautiful one. So Soleil deciding to go. Tori having a look maybe as well. Soleil giving it a really strong paddle. Can she get into it? She looks like she's just behind. Oh, just unfortunately out of position. So that's the tricky thing about this wave, is that peak does shift.
And first wave with that incoming tide is going to look really good, but there's now a whole lot more water than there was earlier in the day. So that first wave, even though it looks like it's going to break, it has a tendency to roll and roll and roll, and you saw that happen to Soleil right there.
Exactly.
So look at her going underwater, shake that off because it's pretty warm out there in the sun, but maybe this will work in her favor.
That's what I'm thinking. It might free her up. Now she just can surf. If a wave comes through that Tori doesn't like, Soleil's on it.
She's got a great first score, so now no priority pressure. She can put and she's a good competitor. She wants to get another score on the board just to feel good, get back in the rhythm. So it'll be interesting to see if she starts to get busy, put some numbers up, and do battle.
So she's having a look. You can see her paddling to the south side of this little wave, wheeling up. There's Tori on screen just being really patient. Soleil with a strong paddle. So there we go. There's that second priority freedom to just catch anything. Get waves under your feet. Perfect hang 10, hang 5 combination. Back to the nose once again. Coming through that frothy section, she'll just race through, gets a little drop knee, cut back, throw some style points in there. Continues on her way through to the inside. Look at how that just kind of stands up on the reef. I'm loving that little reform on the inside. Of course, those big points coming from the outside maneuvers. She had that 5 to 10 combo, which is what she needs to get the scores.
And look at that freedom from not having priority, putting another good score there. So that's going to put her right back into the heat. Now, we had plenty of time. She didn't even have a second wave, but that should turn out well for her. Good setup turn here. Nice 5, and then she's going to get a really clean, tall, relaxed 10. Nice footwork there, kind of the frothy, foamy part of the wave. She's going to trim through that. Little check turn there, driving across this little section, bigger drop knee turn there, and then it's going to offer one more little chance to tag the nose in that soft, soft shoulder. But clean, nice finish. That's going to make her feel a lot more comfortable going back out. And this is where she becomes dangerous. Tori's got priority, which I have a feeling she's going to use.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
But remember, some of these just roll farther under the competitors than they expect.
This seems like it's going to stand up, but like you said,
I know I'm nervous. I get the same thing. Yes, it
nope,
is.
There we
Look
go.
at that glide.
Thank you. Okay, so Tori now into it. Perfect 4 steps all the way to the nose, back, pedaling back all the way to the tail, looking super sharp on her Donald Takayama. Can she get another section for another nose ride? I like that she just bounces off the foam and that clean, beautiful kick out.
Really well controlled, nice. And this on a really good set wave. That's the biggest wave we've seen ridden in the heat so far. So look at the setup. That left go right. Nice footwork out to the tip and just holding as smooth and clean as can be. Great footwork back. Nice controlled turn, puts herself back in the pocket. A little shuffling back to position so that she can throw the board up on that white water there and then flicks it out over the top.
All right, so this is very good. Heat is underway, 18 minutes to go. Scores to come through for last of Soleil Erico, last of Tori Gilkerson. Soleil's comes through at a 5.70, so just inching higher than Tori's previous score that does move her into the lead, but Tori has answered back. There's a score to come through which may increase her heat total and put her back in first. Soleil sitting with priority once again. And I'm just kind of thinking about this support system. So Rachel is talking about having her brother here with her. She always likes to travel with a family member. This crew that's left in the mix, they have a really good support crew with them. Of the girls, Tori Gilkerson here with Jared, Soleil Erico here with her dad, Danny, and there's a really just like this good coaching element, this good discussion element. Like Rachel said, the opportunity to be very honest with somebody. A lot of times in the competition space, you have to have a face on. You have to not show your weakness for the sake of not letting the other competitors think less of you.
It's to the death.
It really is. It's to the death. This is getting really serious and really deep here. But I really like what they've said about what Rachel hinted to about having someone that you can just be really honest with and saying, I don't feel good today, or I feel amazing and I'm really excited for this, but without having to fake anything. And I think that honesty just opens up. It allows them hopefully to calm down those nerves. As we've got another score that's dropped in for Tori Gilkerson, a 5.33, so that moves her back into the lead. But this match is about as even as it can be with just about 0.2 dividing the heat totals. And we are going to go back down to the beach with our extremely excited commentator, Sam Bleakley, catching up with just the vibe and the element that's happening in the sunshine.
So I'm here down with the former mayor of Taitung, Justin Wang. You're still mayor. You've been a huge spearhead of this event here. And right now we've got the best women in the world out there competing. How much of an inspiration is it for the local surfers to be able to bring these world-class riders here to Taitung?
Oh, I think very much so. Over the years, I've keep getting the feedback from judges, from local servers to tell me that because of this event, they get inspired. They get more encouraged to pursue this sports. And in the past, they have to go make a lot of effort to go abroad to be able to witness the competition. But now they can just come to Taitung and they have the opportunity to even participate. So to a lot of the local servers, I think this is tremendous. Yeah.
And unprecedented that for the WSL, we've got World Longboard titles crowned and the World Juniors crowned. Are you looking forward to seeing the juniors starting soon?
Oh, absolutely. And I just watched Rachel and Hanalua. And these two, of course, we are very familiar with. And, Hanalua is last year's championship here. And Rachel was the championship 2 years ago, and so to see them have this a good competition, I think that was very, very exciting. And I also very, very happy to see that more and more servers from all over the world, they came to Taitung for the first time. And I'm sure the, word's spreading out that most servers are now willing to pay more attention to this Jinzhun Harbor as a serving, good serving spot. Yeah.
Well, Justin, thanks so much for having us. We're going to go back to the fantastic live action we got here in the second semi-final. Last words from you as you're looking forward to the closing scores coming through of this second stage of Tori Gilkerson against Soleil Erico. Who's your favorite?
I don't know. They're both from California, and I've lived in California before, so I'll have to say, well, let's wish them good luck.
Thanks for having us, Justin. Back to you, Shannon and Wingnut, to update us on what's been happening out there in this second semi-final.
Thank you, Sam. Justin, thank you for those kind words. You and your community here have been fantastic hosts for the Taiwan Open of Surfing, and as you said, 150 different reasons you can think to come back as we see Tori Gilkerson with all that beautiful footwork out to the nose, really clean and crisp, really tiny, tight footsteps. We like it, like flicking that board over the back. She's got a leash on because as the tide has come up, there is definitely some rocks and jacks that are going to get into your board if it sneaks away from you. So, but like the control and her kick out, flicking it out, that's a good. She surfs backside a lot, you can tell, with that kind of footwork.
Absolutely. Just that perfect picture style coming out of Tori Gilkerson. So a score to drop through. Soleil Erico sitting with priority again. She's going to have a look at this one. It's not going to be what she wants. Having a little kind of shuffle around. You can see that she's now checking back to the beach. Her body positioning, she's shifting a lot. So she's starting to maybe question a little bit of where to sit, where to wait for those sets. Taylor Jensen, her coach, would certainly be on the beach, maybe doing a little bit of those hand signals, some of those things. We've seen that from some of the other competitors, someone on the beach pointing them in the right direction throughout this event. And she's having a little paddle, a little look around. I like that she's staying active, though. She's going to utilize potentially her priority on this wave, decides not to go, and it's into Tori.
And this is where we've seen not having priority work in your favor. And Tori's going to get her first left of the heat. Nice 5 there. We'll see if she's going to be able to put it 10 toes over the nose. Unable to on that section. A lot of speed. I love the way that board runs through that section right there. Not forcing a nose ride on the end there, but a clean staying busy under priority. And so Tori's fourth wave, that was her fifth, came in at a 4.50, not adding to her score. It is super tight, so not easy right here. Soleil being very selective with her priority, and this is another one of those heats. We've seen it happen a few times. It doesn't take much. It's not going to take much of a wave to switch this back and forth a couple more times before the heat ends.
Absolutely, as we see Tori having a left, nice long hang 5. Right in the pocket, but doesn't get that hang 10 combination. Really cruisy style on that little cut back S-turn and that clean kick out. So Tori with a score to come through, but we are waiting for one of those girls to get that exclamation point. Someone needs to put a 7 on the board.
Is somebody going to really separate themselves?
Take the runaway.
So we've got people joining us from all over the world watching now. I know I've got friends in Costa Rica and watching and all throughout California. Pat just checked in on his team rider. Pat O'Connell checking in on his team rider, Rachel Tilley. So he's looking forward to seeing her in the final that will hopefully be able to run today. And we've got friends all over in Australia and New Zealand as well. I've got Canadians that are watching that are texting in. So thanks for joining us here. Wingnut in the booth with Shannon, Brooke Hughes, and Sam Bleakley down on the beach chasing down the competitors in the men's division to get their input on what's happening with the women. Everybody's stuck around here just to watch, courtesy of Taiwan Open, and the Taiwan beer has made it for the non-competitors today a very lovely early afternoon. It's 10 a.m. Early afternoon on the beach. But so it is hot. It's very hot.
It is very hot, and that sun was pounding already from about 6:30 a.m. So I don't, finding a cool drink to cool yourself down, staying in the shade, finding a little windy area as we have. Soleil Erico with a paddle doesn't get into it, so just sitting out of position. But some of those waves, like we said, there's more water on the reef now. The tide is pushed up. It's a little bit harder to be. You really need to be on that peak. There's Dad Danny. There's Taylor Jensen, coach.
You see Danny, what was she paddling for? If she's going to paddle for it, she should have caught it. It's like, you're not out there, Danny.
Yeah.
Taylor's telling you, oh, you think those are catchable, and they're not, and they get right underneath you.
Yeah.
And now it's almost better. Now she doesn't have priority, and maybe she should just move in a board length inside and start nicking off waves. That's what happened. That's what Cole did so well when he got that first wave in his heat. He was in the last men's round 4. It allowed him to reset and re-look at the break from where you paddle out in that channel and realize there's a whole bunch of money makers to be made on that side. So,
and that's such an important aspect of competitive surfing, is being able to reset. There you can see once again Taylor Jensen on the right, Danny Erico on the left.
Officially known as Soleil's dad.
Officially known as Soleil's dad. There we go. So they're definitely in the mix and feeling the pressure, but being able to reset in the water. I was talking to Edward just before I had my interview with him earlier, and he said that his first 2 waves weren't good, and he had to reset himself. Now, that was in a 35-minute heat, and it was still with 30 minutes on the clock. So he's like, I had a 30-minute heat. He said that he feels he can reset himself. Even if there's only 5 minutes left, he can get 2 good scores within 5 minutes on the clock, which is pretty
That's good confidence to have in yourself.
It's good confidence to have. I mean, to be able to know that at the end of the day, you can continue resetting and resetting if you need to put 2 fresh scores on the board. That's the sort of competitive mindset that you need to have.
I like that miss, because that, again, is moving her over into the catchable zone. I mean, it's a little bit like Russian roulette. If you paddle for a wave and miss, don't go back out to where you missed from. Let that move you back into the range where you can catch those waves. The tide is coming in. It's a 8-9 foot, almost a 10-foot tide change here, so it really changes dramatically in the waves. Where you could catch a wave an hour before has dramatically changed to this point.
So 7 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock. Tori Gilkerson sitting in the lead with a 5.5 and a 5.33. Soleil Erico sitting in second with that 5.7, so the highest score of the heat, but just a 4.6 backup ride. But she has only caught 2 waves in 30 minutes. 2 waves to her name for Soleil. Tori having a paddle. She's in priority. This looks like a beautiful wave. Nice little fade. Take off straight to the nose. Nice kind of high line on that hang 5 in the second one. Not super critical meaty, but beautiful S turn and a clean kick out.
That was a really big turn, and there's a little quid pro quo there on that paddle at the very start. Tori did the same thing to Soleil at the beginning of the heat, and that was a little bit of, I love Soleil holding her ground and like right back at you, girl. So that this is good. I mean, it is a competition. So she gets this wave, sets it up for a 5. Not a super steep part of the wave. It runs out there, gets another 5, but I loved the beautiful smoothness of that turn right there. So good use of priority. Will that be enough? It was a good size set wave, so that might replace her lower score, that 5.33. I mean, this isn't comfortable at any point for either one of them. It's just too close. Nobody has that one separating score that really makes it. Like, Soleil only needs a 5.13. And this is a nice looking wave right here as she goes to the nose, gets a nice 5. Again, like Tori's, kind of a softer face, but Soleil gets a really nice cut back. Great footwork up there to the nose, quick 5.10. Another cut back, and let's see if that inside section grows for her and gives her a chance to add to the score. Holding that 5 nicely.
Wow. And that wave stands up on the inside.
All the way through. So a long time coming for her third wave. But I feel that could easily get that 4.60 out of her score line. Like I said, it is way too close. Let's take a look at it again.
So sets herself up for that nose ride. Nice hang 5, good tight footwork, nice powerful rebound off the foam. Sets herself up perfectly. I love that turn set her up for the next nose ride section. She didn't have to adjust herself at all. And then this wave started to stand up for her on the inside. She managed to stick on that nose ride into that little bit more punchy, critical section on the inside. Throws in the drop knee, bit of variety on the turn. So good surfing from Soleil. I would say she's got the score. She needs to move into the lead. But there is still another score to drop in for Tori Gilkerson. So can Tori put more distance between herself and Soleil, or has Soleil taken the lead? You can see Tori there sitting up tall. She's listening to Aurelian, who is our beach announcer from Reunion Island. He has done an exceptional job this week of keeping our surfers in the loop to know what they need. Tori Gilkerson has dropped a 5.87, the highest wave score of the heat so far, to put some more distance. So Soleil Erico's requirement now a 5.68.
So definitely a little more pressure applied by Tori Gilkerson, and we'll see how that score comes in for Soleil. Soleil's wave a little bit longer, but oftentimes the length doesn't really factor in. Is there good scoring potential? Is there steep and critical parts of the wave that you can utilize to get a score? So still 4.5 minutes left. Priority with Tori Gilkerson on the outside. She's waiting anxiously, along with the rest of us, to see how that score comes in for Soleil's last wave, as we've got 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in semifinal heat number 2, the WSL Women's World Longboard Championships, part of the Taiwan Open of Surfing. Taidong, Taiwan, Jinsun Harbor. It's just warm and beautiful. This is a day that you just want to spend the whole day in the water. We've got a great beach festival scene down north of us.
Can see
she's not waving at friends. She just wants to know what the scores are.
Exactly. So the judges still taking their time deliberating that last score of Soleil Erico. Her third wave of this heat comes through as a 6.4, and she takes the lead. Wow, so Tori Gilkerson now requires a 6.24 to gain the lead and advance into the finals. The underdog has come back.
That's what we said. No pressure on that one. And she waited very patiently for that wave and was able to put up a really strong score as that wave grew on the inside for her. Talk about not all of those long waves are worth or have scoring potential, but that created those steep, nice sections where she was able to get to the nose and get nice turns. So now, pressure and priority are with Tori Gilkerson.
So I'm glad that Tori's got priority. You can see some of the fans down here on the beach. There's a lot of people that will be checking it out as it is the weekend. Bright and early Saturday morning. It's about 10 a.m. local time here in Taidong. There's Jared Neal, though. He has just gone from feeling kind of relaxed to very stressed.
I don't think he was relaxed at all. It was just too close. There hadn't been a score to truly separate the two surfers. That 6.40 being the first one that really moved the needle, and it moved it in Soleil's favor.
So 2 minutes on the clock. Rachel Tilley, our first finalist for our women's Taiwan Open World Longboard Championship. She is up for her potential second world title. She is the youngest WSL world champion ever on any discipline, shortboarding, longboarding, anything in between. Won her title at 17. But if Soleil Erico makes it into the final, Soleil has a chance to tie that record because Soleil is 17 years old.
When's the birthday?
That's what we need to figure out. We'll work it out before the final. Well, we'll see how this goes.
Right, let's not.
It's going to depend if Tori can get the wave. There's a little set coming there that might be something that, it doesn't look like that's really going to stand up. Tori's not even phased to have a look at it. She's going to sit patient for the next 90 seconds.
And it's interesting, Soleil, the competitor, sitting right with her, trying to see if she can push her into taking a wave that she doesn't want. Kind of see it from the lower beach angle here. You can kind of get a look at those waves as they come through.
It might be Rachel, actually, because I think Soleil's birthday is next week.
Yeah.
And Rachel would have won at 17 in December, but only turned 18 maybe a month or two later. So we'll work that one out, and we'll let you know, fans back home. These are the fun, kind of little gritty details of what's going down on the beach here. There's a lot behind the scenes. A lot of surfers have been hanging out, having a good time, going to the hot springs, just enjoying the local food and all that.
But now that we're getting
getting serious
down to the short time. All right, we've got the surfers paddling. We're down to the final 40 seconds of this. Will a wave come through with enough energy? As Soleil, without priority, taking off on this one. It's a clean one. It's got a really lovely face to it. Nice 5 to 10, quick footwork back. A little bit of a shuffle as she does that re-entry. And Tori Gilkerson is going to make her last attempt on a left. Very high, very critical. That was a really nice nose ride. Will this wave have enough on it for her to be able to sneak away? She only needed a 6.24. That's not a huge number, but it is a pretty big number for this heat.
Absolutely.
So we'll get another look at that wave for sure. Soleil's wave, I don't think is going to go into her score line, but that wave of Tori Gilkerson, the bit of it that we saw, looked pretty close. Let's look at it again. Watch her set it up. Nice little setup turn there, goes to the nose, gets a nice 5, gets a nice tight 5, holds that 5. Really
Ooh,
steep,
that was nice.
Really critical section of the wave. Driving down the line here, she's going to do a nice little roller coaster. Had some good pop on that one. I am really glad I am not a judge.
I am really glad I'm not a judge. And the replay from Soleil Erico, currently sitting in the lead, gets that 5 to 10 combination. Little bit of shuffling, though. Not super clean footwork as she pulls in. She nails the finish, so that's great to see. But I don't know that that's going to replace her 5.87, her 6.4 or her 5.7. She's now heading up the rocks. Tori Gilkerson just in that pressure cooker to see what will happen. One of these girls will be locked in as the next finalist to meet Rachel Tilley and have the chance to win a world title.
It's going to take us a while to get those scores from the judges, I'm sure. We'll be back with the result of that, and we'll let you know if we're going right into the finals or if we're going to go to men's quarterfinals. So we'll be back with those results right after this.
Hello, Take Two. We all know that you're stoked for the World Surf League Longboard Championship in Taiwan.
I wish I could be there to join riding those tasty, amazing waves.
I've heard the best things about Taiwan. Beautiful island, the most amazing coastline.
Don't forget about the green water and the blue skies.
You are part of something deeper. Welcome home.
This is badass!
We hope that our new movie, Aquaman, will inspire you.
Now get out there and become the next champion of the sea.
And be sure to catch Aquaman on the big screen this December.
The war is coming to the surface.
Arthur!
I'm not a king.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more. A hero.
And welcome back. We are still waiting for that last score. You're looking at Soleil Erico. She's currently in the lead as we're waiting for the score for Tori Gilkerson to drop. That's Tori, her boyfriend Jared with the hat on, talking to Cole Robbins. Cole on into the quarterfinals. But it is a nail-biter as we're waiting for the scores. It could be either one of them. They both put on a really great performance. Soleil, the kid, very excited about this, that her best performance ever on the World Tour.
Oh, she's done such an incredible job. To make it into the semifinals her second year on tour is just such an amazing accomplishment. To put down the scores like she has in this event, she's had maybe two of the highest wave scores overall of the women's event, which is pretty exceptional. But Tori Gilkerson, she has a WSL World Longboard title. She has an ISA World Longboard title. So she is a girl who's experienced with winning. She's got one of the best styles, the most finesse of any of the girls on tour. And now we're just waiting to see if she, on her last left, that really critical hang five,
finding
if
that
it's
great
enough
left at the end
to get her through into the final.
Yes, it's going to be it's interesting. It's close. We'll catch up with whichever athlete wins this one. Sam is going to grab a quick interview with them, and then we will, no matter what happens, we're going to go on hold. We're going to be going on hold to decide if the athletes are ready to continue with the finals or whether we're going to go to the men's quarterfinals. So the conditions here have stayed lovely. The wind hasn't picked up. The surf is very consistent. So pins and needles here as everyone is waiting for this score. Soleil Erico from Malibu, Tori Gilkerson, late of San Clemente, currently living in Australia with Jared Neal.
Wow.
There's Rachel Tilley talking to Tori right there. You can see Rachel, I just don't
They're
know
just analyzing everything.
Just don't know where to go into this one.
Wow.
Fantastic surfing by everyone so far involved. It could go either way. We know that. Honolulu put on a great performance early on, but Rachel just had that ability without having priority just to hunt, and just add scores up one after another. So in the Rachel and Hano battle, it went to Rachel. The judges are watching the replays again and again. They have to compare the size of the waves. They have to compare the scores they were given on similar size waves, the commitment to the nose rides, the footwork, the quality of the turns. Everything is being put together. Let's take a look at it again. Here is Tori Gilkerson's last wave. Great footwork to the nose, 5 to 10. There she is, steps back off of that one clean. It was a critical, steep, the biggest left we've seen, and a really clean finish on that wave. So it's close. Obviously it's close. That's why we're still talking about it.
Obviously it's close. And there's been so many close calls today. So many of these heats have finished on the buzzer. The surfer that needs the score has gotten the wave that could definitely give them the score. So we've had plenty of this throughout this morning of just waiting on the beach. The tension that can be felt down there. We're not even down there. We're sitting up on the second story of the scaffolding.
So what was the best meal you've had so far at the event?
Wow. That's a...
I just can't talk about it. I just have to wait. I just have to wait for the score. So
we just have to focus on something else. The food in this area is phenomenal. The dumplings are amazing.
The steam buns, the place up at right in the middle of town there. I mean, buses will stop there for those steam buns. I jump in there every morning on my way down here. I'd rather talk about steam buns right now. I can't. I'm just too nervous.
And the replay from Soleil, just beautiful surfing. That little shuffle at the back, but she got that 5 to 10 combination. This was her 5.3, her last wave, which did not count into her top two scores. So Soleil Erico currently sitting in the lead with a 6.4 and a 5.7. Tori Gilkerson, she's got a 5.87 and a 5.5. but she has a score to drop through. The judges are taking their time. They want to get this right and make the statement. One of these two girls will be booking themselves a place into the final up against the 2015 World Longboard Champion, Rachel Tilley.
That is going to be an exciting final to watch. Either way this goes, it's going to be fun to watch. I love the conditions today. I think we've been exceptionally lucky with our wind, which we've been unable to forecast or predict in any way, shape, or form. So when it is as nice as it is here, we're all excited and happy about it. This has got to be so painful for both these athletes and their friends.
So painful.
And family. Ben's going to just take a breath, just calm down.
And didn't we have with Ben and Phil's heats,
Yep.
the two guys there, they were both waiting on the beach for scores to come through. So it really has just been, it's been the theme of the day. Catch your waves and then get to the beach and wait and see what happens. It's all come down to those last few seconds, which is really exciting. It's left us for an absolutely amazing finals day.
Although if you look at that, I wouldn't sit next to Ben and Phil then. They
This is
didn't
true.
get
Get
the
some
score. Get
distance,
away from
Soleil.
them.
Run away,
Go
run
to the
away.
lucky ones. There is no luck in this. You make your own luck in these competitions by choosing the waves and making the most of them. So it's having fun, surfing smart, and having everything go your way.
Tori's
Scores are dropping in. We hear that from the live beach announcer, so I have a
right.
feeling we're going to know in just a second.
I'm so nervous. My heart's pounding so hard. I haven't felt this way yet, this contest. This is really, it's really great.
And the thing is, I can't say either way. I really cannot call this one on this score. I'm sometimes very opinionated and very clear on which way I think it's going to go. 6.13, just short of what she needs. Missing it by 0.10. Soleil Erico making it into the final at the 2018 WSL Longboard World Championships. We're going to jump down to Sam Bleakley as we watch Soleil hug it out with her dad.
Wow. Oh, man.
Soleil and Soleil's dad.
Final.
Yeah, the kid makes it.
The kid makes it through.
Yeah,
you can see that emotion,
I'm
almost
here.
tears on her
I'm
face.
ready to
And
just
down to
let
Sam.
this
Take it
happen.
away.
Oh, fantastic. Sam, over to you.
Soleil Erica, wow. I mean, right down to the edge there. You know, just 17 years old in your first World Longboard Championship final. I know the emotions are massive right now, but wow, you know, how you feeling? Obviously amazing. But, you know, you've got to just tell us what you just went through in those last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely made it a bit harder for myself. Like, I wasn't getting the right waves. And I've had a lot of close calls this last year and that haven't gotten my way. And I'm just so happy it went my way this once, you know.
You had that really close call with Alice Lemoyne, didn't you, in the semi-finals of the Surf Relic event at Trestles, you know, so this time it went the other way. I mean, these last 5 minutes being here with your coach Taylor Jensen, your dad, you know, your support back home, you know, you surely got a message for your mum back home who's probably got her heart rate would have gone through the roof then.
Yeah. Mom, I'm okay, don't worry. Please don't go to the hospital. I love you.
And what about a message for Bill Stewart? I mean, those boards looking so fast and lively under your feet.
Thank you, Bill, so much for all the amazing boards. They really work well. Thank you.
And tell us what you think of Taiwan, you know, is this a wave you're enjoying longboarding, these right-handers here?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a really good wave, high pro wave where you can do turns and nose rides, so it's good. Yeah.
Well, it's been phenomenal watching you. All the best luck into the final. And wow, that was an amazing display of surfing. I'm not sure, Will Hayden-Smith, if you're able to come into the mix here. Do we know if we're continuing with the action today or are we going to go on hold till tomorrow?
That's what I'm coming to talk to Soleil about, actually. I've just spoken with Rachel, and she said if we were to extend it to go, because tomorrow there's a big question mark over what time the wind's going to come up and adding an extra heat to it. Final now is what we're thinking, but I have to talk to our new finalist right now. So.
Well, congratulations, Soleil. Well, I'm going to let you two talk and discuss whether we'll be continuing here at the World Longboard Championships. We're going to go to a little recap of some of the amazing action we saw last year. And stay tuned here in Taiwan for the World Longboard Championships.
The 2017 World Longboard Championship Tour has come to its second and final stop of the year. The event is held in Jinsun Harbor in Taiwan, and it's the first time the longboarders have had a Longboard Championship Tour event here.
Amazing
amazing clean conditions here at Jinsun Harbour. It's a fantastic peaky wave. I'm really excited to see how the longboarders can nose ride this wave because it's quite big, so there's a lot of power.
Well, we're hoping to see classic longboarding in a powerful trestles-like wave here. So what the judges are looking for is, critical maneuvers.
Beautiful, powerful turn right there. That is Taylor's classic cutback. Gets a really nice nose ride. Big roundhouse, wraparound, rebound into the white water. It is an 8.
From California, Taylor Jensen is our 2017 World Longboard Champion!
That's how the 2017 World Longboard Championship season wrapped up. We're back in Taiwan for the 2018 World Longboard Championship. Tune in to WorldSurfLeague.com to watch this event unfold and see who will be crowned the 2018 World Longboard Champions.
你是在写什么？你看什么？你们赶快啊！混啊！你写3天，我改8、7次，是不是不想看啊？
有一种爽，交给老板一巴掌。爽皮送 beer。
Championships here at Jinsun Harbour, Taiwan, Taitung. We've just got a little recap of that amazing second semi-final we saw as Soleil Erico, the 17-year-old from Malibu, California, booked herself a place, beating former world champion Tori Gilkison. I'm joined by Shannon Brooke Hughes to bring you the final. You commentated on that heat with Wingnut Shannon. Wow, that was something else, wasn't it?
Wow, that was just a back and forth all the way. Excellent surfing from both girls there on screen now. Soleil Erico booking herself into the final up against Rachel Tilley. So 2 Californians left in the mix. One of them will bring the world title home to California.
And it came right down to the last rides. Tori Gilkison needing something in the mid-6s. She came in the low 6s. She didn't get the score she needed on that left. And Soleil Erico, the jubilation, the joy. And there we go. You can just see that emotion welling up. Gets the hug from Ben Skinner, then Phil Rasman, Taylor Jensen there. Her dad, Danny, what a pleasure for her to have the opportunity to share that experience with her dad. Is obviously extremely proud of her, and she's out here now competing with a former world champion, Rachel Tilley, who's just been looking so relaxed all event. Shannon, do you think the fire will be more with Soleil or with Rachel?
I think the fire has hit Rachel now. So her and Soleil actually go back years in California with this little bit of a rivalry. So this is a really exciting heat for me to see the two of them in the water. I think there's going to be a lot more fire and ice in it than what we would have expected.
Fire and ice, that's what we want to see as we crown the 2018 World Longboard Championships. Welcome if you're just tuning in. Your timing is perfect. You've got a 35-minute final on your hands here at Jinsun Harbour on the peaky rights and lefts. A cobblestone bottom break in Taitung County in Donghe Township on the east coast of the wonderful island of Taiwan. I'm Sam Bleakley bringing you the live WSL World webcast here at the Taiwan Open of Surfing with Shannon Brooke Hughes. Shannon, we've had the pleasure of commentating on women's longboard finals before, but this feels like a very, very special battle between these two Californians. One age 20, a former world champ, one just 17, going for her first world title.
Really exciting stuff. Like you said, a very special heat on our hands. I'm very excited to see what these girls bring to the table, where that competitive spirit kind of starts to kick into gear and really gets that fire started. We've got 35 minutes on the clock. That siren has just sounded, and we have Rachel Tilley having a look at that first wave. She really likes to get things started. She likes to gain control from the beginning.
So Tilley on the Josh Martin shapes there. She's going to take a nice high line. Is it going to be 2 quick steps? Yes, it is. There's the 5. There's the 10 and a big soul arch with the hands up in the air. She really emphasized the flamboyance on that nose ride, getting nice and low and a great trim line there. Readjust with a good bit of a footwork turn there and all the way back up to the 5 and back up for a third 5. Really good how she used that cut back and kept the flow and the control and the variety Wow, what a strong start for the Californian. Rachel Tilley waiting for a score to drop. They might wait until Soleil Erico rides a wave just to set that scale.
Exactly. Great start from Rachel. She'll be feeling really fresh going into the rest of this heat. Having put that kind of exclamation point down, I was talking to Wingnut about it all before. Rachel really likes to get that first wave in. And in her interview with you, she mentioned getting those 10s. The 10s are where those points come from and how she's going to get those winning scores. I love that she nailed it on that opening one. She got that little soul arch thrown in there just to show how relaxed and comfortable she was on the nose.
And flamboyant as well, you know, body
Exactly.
language, confidence, charisma, pizzazz, poise, all those great things we want to see on a longboarder.
Wow, absolutely amazing. So excited to see how that score drops through. But like you said, the judges may take their time with this one. Wait till Soleil gets a wave. Maybe wait till Rachel even gets a second wave, depending on what happens here. The other discussion Wingnut and I have been having is about priority. The surfer with priority for the long run seems to be hindered, but here we go with that replay. So straight into the nose. Lovely hang 10. You can see that foot fully curled over the nose too on the hang 5. So full commitment. Just works her way around the home, gets nice and snappy on the inside here. That footwork, adjusting her body on that board, is keeping the momentum going with zero effort at all.
I love the way that in that cutback she then used the footwork and kept that trim speed going by just walking all the way up to the 5 and back, and then she got that third short 5 on the inside. But that halo opening 5 to 10 soul arch with those arms up and those hips swung back. The scores have been dropped to 6-1-7. Very strong start for Rachel. 32 minutes remaining. Top 2 scores will combine to crown the 2018 Women's World Longboard Champion here in Taiwan, as we see Soleil Erico with priority, looking to see if there's going to be a rider on this set coming through. A few Australians there, and Kira Seal and the American, the brother of Rachel. Michael being present seems to have put Rachel in this lovely relaxed place.
It absolutely has. It's really great to see the two of them traveling together. We're actually staying in the same place just up the road. We're about a 3-minute drive from the beach here, and we've been cooking dinners together, and it's been really good to see the dynamic of those two surfing together. Michael, like Rachel has mentioned many times, he's got great wave knowledge and great competitive experience himself. And as we wait for the next set to come through, we are going to go down to the beach with Wingnut and Tori.
Hey, thank you, Shannon. I'm here with Tori Gilkerson. That was really close in that last heat, but I see that you're making the best of it going forward.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I knew it was going to be close, that score, and it didn't go my way, so I'm going to have a couple beers and watch the girls and kind of root Rachel on in hopes of her second world title.
Talk us through Rachel's wave right there.
Oh, yeah, I missed the outside section, but she's got a nice cut back, and she's really had a lot of good flow today, and just the right waves are coming to her, so I think she's going to be pretty hard to beat.
It's looking good. And Caitlin, what do you think? How do you read this final? Who's your favorite?
I don't know if there's necessarily a favorite, but Rachel's been surfing really consistent, and I definitely, if she continues, favor to win, but Soleil's been pulling out big scores out of nowhere, so you never know. It could go either way. It's just who gets the best wave.
And there goes Soleil on another one. Thanks for that, you guys. I'm going to let Sam and Shannon take care of this because we want that play-by-play to keep going. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Wingnut. Thanks very much, Caitlin and Tori, as we see Soleil Erico, the 17-year-old from Malibu, California, with a really nice hang 10 on the inside there. She opened up with some good sweeping roundhouse cutbacks, a lot of fast footwork, taking that wave all the way to the inside, full of energy, full of joy, really expressive. Both of these women are surfing out of their skin already. We've seen that they're sharp. They got everything going in their favor, so I imagine that we could get scores going up into the excellent range as this heat continues. And there's Rachel's long 5 to 10 back to the 5. This is her second ride, so this is going to add to the 6-1-7, and see how that wave picked up inside through the inside. She really made good wave selection there, so she's going to consolidate her lead. But Shannon, what do you think of this from Soleil Erico?
So straight to that hang 5, a little bit out of the pocket, but she's adjusting to that nice big strong hit off the foam, continues milking her way through the inside. So she got that hang 5, but it wasn't a super critical in the pocket. Now comes that punchy inside section though, and that's where things start to really unravel for her. Staying quick and snappy, looks for that last little nose ride and really rides it straight into the rocks. She's got a long paddle out, but she's in the right position, and we have 2 scores to come through. This heat is going to be very exciting. Like you said, excellent scores will certainly be dropped.
You could see by the expression on her face then, so she was literally right on top of those rocks, just looking to milk one last quick 5 out of that wave with no space, no room left, but pushing everything into it. A 6.17, Rachel's first wave, backed up with a 6.9, a higher score, building on her lead. So Soleil waiting to drop her first score. So in priority is Rachel Tilley. Soleil Erico waiting for a score to drop. So Rachel looking really strong already with those 6s. Will one of those waves be keepers, or will both of these women start to get scores up into the excellent range? You would expect that the world champion is going to have to put something in the 8+ excellent range to really get that 2018 crown.
Absolutely. That's what our expectation is, and the girls know that that is what they need to deliver to really put distance between the other competitor in the lineup. There on the beach, we've got Kira Seal from Hawaii, Emily Lethridge from Australia, Michael Tilley, his sister Rachel from California in the water, and Nick Jones, fellow Australian, just cheering on from the rocks. I like that they position themselves even closer to the water. You can feel that that energy is everywhere on the beach. Everyone's excited. This is the finals. The surf is perfect for it. We have absolutely gorgeous conditions here in Jinsoon Harbor, and that score is in with a 6.07 for first of Soleil Erico. So Rachel Tilley, first 2 waves, a 6.17 and a 6.9. She is currently in the lead, and we are going to go to a quick clip with Rachel Tilley dropping in.
My biggest inspiration is probably Terry Martin. He just loved to share his passion. That's how I am with longboarding. I'm so passionate about it just as a lifestyle, and that's something I just want to share that passion with everyone. My favorite thing about Taiwan, I love going to the hot springs every year. Beautiful, you're in the mountains in Taiwan, and a great bonding experience for a lot of the competitors. My signature longboard maneuver is probably hanging 10. That's my favorite thing to do, at least. I probably like surfing with my brother the most. We have a good mix of having fun and competition against each other. The most embarrassing thing I tend to do is probably, so I'll see someone that I think I know, and I'm like, hey, and she was just like, hey, okay, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know her, that's cool, just keep surfing.
And what a great work. We can see live action Rachel Tilley there. We just saw that little interview dropping in edit there. But Rachel got that full hang 10. She looked committed. She looked controlled. Everything looking poised. I think she's really firing up. It looks like she's going to be building on those 6s already with a 6.17 and a 6.90. But Soleil dropping that 6.07. So right there in the same score range in the 6s. But I would imagine that we're going to see something higher than a 6 from Rachel right now when this score drops, because that looks sensational.
Absolutely. And I love that little dropping in session with Rachel. You get to see her spirit. She is one of the most joyful, excited girls on the beach. And here we go, seeing it coming through in her surfing. Perfect hang 10 right in the pocket. Great rail game. I mean, she's really laying into that rail on her carves. Love her arm positioning. Her body posture is really good coming into this. Staying nice and lively. Gets that last little hang 5. And this is where she just comes unstuck on the finish. But her scores would have come from those outside maneuvers.
So we're just going to go down to Rachel's brother Michael, who's there with Wingnut, enjoying the action here at the final of the Women's World Longboard Championships.
All right, I'm here with Michael Tilley. It looks like your sister's putting on a pretty good show so far.
Yeah, she is. She got 2 good waves off the bat and just got another one.
You've been instrumental in kind of helping her stay grounded and focused. Is it a lot of work, or is she an easy older sister?
She is an easy older sister. She just has a good head game overall, and but I mean overall she's just in a good mindset.
Yeah, and it's nice calming effect that you've had on her, which is really fun. So how exciting is it to you to be here while she's competing for her second world championship?
Oh, it's so exciting. She sorry, just listen to the score. Okay. Yeah, I've just been watching. Whenever I watch her events, it's always just been at home, usually in the middle of the night. But it's so exciting just being here on the beach watching. And it's just, it's so awesome.
I'm going to let you get back to it. Good luck. And I just want to say that Mom and Daddy's doing a good job being the kid brother taking care of her. All right, back to you, Sam and Shannon.
Thanks very much, much wing nut, and Rachel Tilley drops a 7.27 for that last wave, so adds to that 6.9. But Soleil sitting there with that 6.07. She only needs an 8.10. That sounds huge, but we've seen scores in that range from Soleil earlier in the competition. She has had a stellar run, Shannon. In Heat 4, her opening heat of round 1, she beat Chloe Calmon and Avalon Gould with a 15.67.
Wow.
So she leapfrogged her way into round 3, where she had a convincing win against Chloe Calmon and Tori Gilkison. And then she beat Caitlin Mickelson in round number 4, the quarterfinals. And in the semis earlier today, she beat Tori Gilkison. So Soleil will not be feeling too much pressure because she's just had that one wave. Look at the highest rides of the event, an 8.83 in that quarterfinal from Soleil Erico. Hono out. Rachel still in. She's 4th on that list with an 8.0 in round 2. It was the first time in a world title event that Rachel had to surf in round 2 after losing in heat number 1 against Alice Lemoyne and Crystal Hewlett, but then beating Emily Lethbridge from Noosa in round number 2, and then progressing into round 3, where she beat Crystal Walsh and Kira Seal, and then in that first quarterfinal had another matchup with Alice Lemoyne from Reunion. Rachel obviously took the win, and then she beat the reigning world champion Honolulu Bloomfield in the first semi-final. So Soleil Erico with priority, needing an 8.10. Rachel Tilley out of priority in the lead with a 7.27 and a 6.90.
And what Wingnut and I have been discussing all morning is that the surfer without priority, that surfer in second priority, seems to be in a little better rhythm because they're freed up to just catch waves and have fun. And this is what we've seen so far into this. I'm really curious to see as we go forward. So neither girl goes for that wave. Soleil still remains with priority. Rachel in second priority. Rachel with that 7.27. Sitting with a strong, convincing lead. Soleil now chasing an 8.10 to take the lead away from Rachel. And I think that's a good, actually that's kind of a good reminder to me. Soleil does require a big score to take the win from Rachel now. Rachel's done her work. She's put the hard yards in at the start of this heat to put a lot of pressure onto Soleil.
But watch out, because Soleil Erico, the 17-year-old regular footer from Malibu, California, is up and riding with 4 steps to the nose. There's the 5. Can she get the 10? Really good, nice, quick 10. Pedals back there. She's going to get to the back of her Bill Stewart board there, looking to dismount here. She didn't see an opportunity to reconnect with the open face, so she'll be paddling back out of priority, which might be a little bit of an advantage to just pick and choose and move around the lineup as we see this replay here. She gets that nice stall fade takeoff. There's the steps up to the tip. There's the quick 10. And just here, she spots she needs to accelerate, but she's not able to reconnect with the open face there. Soleil Erico would have experienced huge emotions winning that second semi-final. And right in your ear, you'll be able to hear the fireworks going off. A celebration of Taiwanese surfing happening right here at Jinzun Harbour. The energy is electric. We have a big fan base down watching the action. But going back, Shannon, to that experience that Soleil would have had, the emotion of winning that heat would have been strong, and to come back from that, not easy. But right now, live action, Shannon, what are we seeing from Rachel Tilley?
So Rachel Tilley straight to the hang 5. Love those hands up in the air, hoping that wave steepens up, gets a little bit of a rail dag, but she maintains so much control and composure going through it into that hang 10, putting everything all on the line. Rachel Tilley is hungry. She is chasing that second world title, and you can see it all coming forward in her surfing.
And got right out on the open face there. Surfed that one quite wide on the takeoff, but then that meant that she had that open face, whereas we saw Soleil's wave just chandeliered ahead of her. She took off a bit deeper, and it didn't allow that nice open face for that variety. Really like to see the footwork there from Rachel, looking so clean. Even when she slowed down on that second nose ride, she was able to come out of it very cleanly. She takes off in trim, 4 steps to the nose. There's the 5, looking really poised. Stays on a long 5 soul arch, hands in the air, classic Californian style, pedals back. Watch how she saves herself from this nose ride. Most people would have fallen here or come off the back, but look, pedals back and keeps true to the footwork and readjustment of the feet. Nice sweeping turn, still out on the open face, still scoring potential on that wave. So Rachel Tilley looking strong, but Soleil Erico, she's still in the game. She needs an 8.10 to take the world title here at the 2018 Longboard Champs, as we see that beautiful blue sky, those steep mountains behind us in Taiwan County, the fan base there with umbrellas keeping the sun off them and lenses watching the action, the water's blue, and wow, what an occasion this is to crown the 2018 Women's World Longboard title. As a dad who has a daughter who rides longboards, for me, this is where longboard surfing is at. This is where all that kind of grace and that flamboyance and that flow comes through, and it's an absolute pleasure to have such young people here in the final, just aged 20 and 17, and surfing with so much wisdom and maturity.
Absolutely. They really do deserve this slot in the finals, the chance to hold that world title to their name for the next year. Love that little shot that we had of the trophy sitting there. I remember this shot of Rachel Tilley eating a bowl of cereal out of her trophy the year that she won back in 2015.
There's Danny Errico, the father of Soleil, the coach Taylor Jensen. He's still in the event. He's going for his 4th world title. Ben Skindog Skinner on the right watching the action. So, wow, how's that feel when your daughter's out there trying to win her 1st world title? Rachel Tilley is out of priority, but she's interested in this wave, thinking that maybe there's an opportunity to drop that 6.90. Her last score comes in at a 4.83. You can see the body language of the coach there, Taylor Jensen, and Danny Errico. Taylor's just saying, calm down, Danny, it's okay. She knows what she's doing. She's in the right spot. And here we go, Shannon, over to you for live action as Soleil takes off looking for an 8.10.
Oh, nice little fade takeoff. Really tight footwork. Will she get to the 10? And there it is, that perfect hood ornament hang 10. This is what she needs to be back in the mix against Rachel. Nice little cruisy cut back into the foam. Looking for that nose ride. Gets that hang 5, that hang 10 combination. Little bit of shakes, but she sticks it all the way through. You can see that little arm swing. She's feeling good. Taylor's looking happy.
That was really strong, Shannon. I think there was real zap and pizzazz and drive about that, and really went, and she knew she needed to go critical on the nose here. So there's the setup, 4 steps to the nose, great clean flow footwork, no hesitation, full commitment to the 10, long time standing at the 10. Look at this drop knee turn, really moves that round, and then the flow, setting herself up for this second nose ride section. Footwork, clean, crisp, the second quick 10 there, and the body language says, I'm giving this everything. I'm not quite sure if that was a bit of joy or a little element of frustration. What do you think?
I think it was joy. I think she knows she nailed that outside hang 10. It was absolutely beautiful. She was perfectly positioned, nice and tall. She had total control. So Rachel Tilley, this is going to get interesting. With 17 minutes on the clock, the Tilley family watching from California. Soleil here with her dad, Rachel here with her brother. The whole families are involved in this. These two girls grew up surfing against each other in California. Rachel a couple of years ahead, but they've had plenty of matchups in that Southern California scene over the years. There's plenty of rivalry that's actually happening in the water right now. You can see more surfers down on the beach cheering on. There's Honolulu Bloomfield, our last year's world champion from 2017. She was knocked out to Rachel Tilley. They had a matchup last year in the semifinals as well, and Hono got the better. So this year, Rachel's won back on her, but Honolulu, just an absolutely amazing surfer. And we're still waiting for scores to drop through for last of Soleil Errico. Can she take the lead?
So the 17-year-old from Malibu also spends a lot of time in Kauai, in Hawaii there, rides the Stewart surfboards. Her mum Vera, I know you'll be tuning in. Danny's here, her dad watching her. She's a sponsored rider for Janga Wetsuits, and she's a senior in high school at the Grosser Learning Center in Pacific Palisades. She's a straight-A student, and another really good student here is Rachel Tilley, who's studying at Bond University, a sports management bachelor's there on the Gold Coast. She's been doing assignments alongside winning heats here at the World Longboard Championships. She's our former world champion from back in 2015. She's 20 years old, and she's a local at San Clemente. Doheny and San Onofre are her 2 regular spots, and she learnt from the great Terry Martin and now flies the flag with Josh Martin's shapes. And Terry's her great inspiration and role model, and I know that if he's listening from somewhere else, he'll be proud to see Rachel here in another World Longboard Championship final and currently in the lead. But Soleil drops a 7.73, so now Soleil just needs a 6.44. So what a close battle this is. Just less than a point separating both of these surfers. Rachel with the 6.9 and the 7.27, Soleil with the 6.07 and the 7.73, and this is the wave that dropped her a near excellent 7.73 because of that 10 and then this really good drop knee turn here powers that round, sets herself up with great flow and control for this inside nose ride section. Really good clean steps there, gets the quick 10, pedals back, keeps in control of everything, and kicks out smoothly with a bit of a fist pump of jubilation there, and she's right in the game, only needing a 6.44 to take the lead here with 14 minutes 30 seconds remaining. Shannon, this is so good.
This is so good. I'm so excited. We can see Wingnut down there with Honolulu. I'm sure he's going to catch up with her in just a moment. But Rachel Tilley, she needs to get a better score on the board. She needs distance now between her and Soleil. It is about as even matched as can be. Less than a point dividing their heat totals. Here we go with the paddle. Rachel Tilley setting up that opening nose ride. Perfect hang 5, hang 10 combination. Nice and controlled. Unfortunately, dags that rail, so she needs to get back to the lineup and reset. Forget that that wave even happened. Get back out there. Feel the freedom of not having priority now.
I think that's really important all event. I think that the surfers out of priority have been able to react much more spontaneously. They've been able to improvise and pick out those waves that might not have been on the radar of the patient surfer sitting with priority, but are often the ones with the biggest scoring potential. There's so much more pressure in priority. If the wave is very predictable and perfect, yes, it's favorable. But in these ever so shifty conditions where sometimes a medium-sized one will grow as it runs down the cobble reef, out of priority often delivers the highest scores. Tomei speaking to Ben Skinner, and it's Soleil Erico up and riding, sets up with a nice stall there, 4 steps to the nose. Can she get the 10? Really good 10 there. Yet again we see that commitment to the 10. I love the drop knee turn. It's something she's worked on a lot with Taylor Jensen, who's been coaching her. A really good long 5 through the inside. Look at the crispness and the cleanness of those cross steps, that footwork, the flow. Again, a second drop knee turn, a third turn, not a drop knee but a nice sweep as she kicks out, looking for a 6.44. Shannon, that could be enough, but what can Rachel do on this wave?
So nice quick steps to the nose, stuck on that hang 5, hang 10, those ankles fully locked together on those hang 10s, just cruising around the section, staying nice and fluid. Can she string together anything else? So she's going to get out to backline. She may be ahead of Soleil even in the paddle to gain that priority again. There's a little paddle battle.
That's what we like to see, and look at the legs kicking of Rachel Tilley there. Is Soleil gonna go for it on the paddle battle? She's one board behind, but look at this replay. Is it a 6.44 that she needs to move into first position? Went for it on the hang 10. It's a smaller wave, not such a steep pocket, but she's giving it everything, and the footwork is just phenomenal from these women. Never do you see them shuffle. Everything is clean, flowing, continuous, confident footwork, so assured as they walk up to those nose rides, and so certain of where to place their feet when they go back to the tail for those rail turns.
Absolutely. Women's surfing at its absolute best. Rachel Tilley answers back with that perfect hang 10, nice and composed, races around that section, gets that nice cut back, but this is where that wave just starts to fail her, and she knows it. But she gets in front, so Rachel wanted priority. I like that about her. She's being tenacious. She wants to be in the driving seat. Take us through Soleil.
Nice high line, steep section. It's going to be a big hang 10, and that could be going up into the excellent range. The footwork off the back of that hang 10 was A grade. It was just picture perfect. Can she find another steep section here? She's using that footwork and rail turn to really set herself up behind the pocket, so as she walks into the 5, she's back in the pocket, as we saw just then, riding right into the inside. That bolt upright hang 10 on the outback could really change the situation. Will that be the first ride that goes into the excellent range in this final? We've had 7s, we've had 6s, but not yet have we had something that's gone into the excellent range. But Shannon, look at the setup here. See how she gets really high? There's the 5, bang, there's the 10, just stays true to that position, and look at the footwork off there, and then the drop knee turn. Wow, this is such a great display of competitive women's longboarding. This is a kind of final that as youngsters around the world interested in surfing, both male and female, you can study to learn the moves. These two are just putting on an incredible display of surfing.
Absolutely. In my opinion, the women's longboarding is the most beautiful expression of surfing that we have. With 10.5 minutes on the clock, Soleil Erico with 2 big scores to come through. I think she's going to take that lead away from Rachel, and Rachel's going to have to fight back to gain it. So Soleil's previous score, a 5.73 for the wave before, but she still has that beautiful, perfect set wave. Excellent wave selection from Soleil. She was sitting under priority, which freed her up to go for it. Rachel would have had that thought. Should she go? Should she not? Soleil just feeling free with that. So we're waiting for a score. Rachel Tilley also with a score to drop in, though. Rachel sitting with a 7.27 as her high score, a 6.9 backup. Soleil with the highest wave of the heat so far, a 7.73, but still another score to drop in.
So this has been such an even heat all the way through. Yes, the momentum was with Rachel in the beginning with that 6.9 and that 7.27, and yes, Soleil has been catching up, but really it's been back and forth, cat and mouse, ice and fire, as you say. And Soleil, Erica, Shannon, over to you to drop that big score.
An 8.23 for the young Californian, 17 years old. We'll hear that score being announced, and there we go. Danny's just heard it. He knows. She's got that 8.23, has moved her into the lead. Taylor Jensen, the excitement on their faces is just ecstatic. So Rachel Tilley now chasing an 8.69 to take the win away from the youngster.
And you know what was really interesting about that score in the excellent range? It wasn't just the walk up, the setup for that 5 and 10. It was the way she completed that nose ride. The number of steps, the cleanness, the crispness, everything was assured. There was that no hesitation. Sometimes you see with longboarders, they get stuck on the nose and have to shuffle back, or sometimes they're not very assured as they stroll up to the tip. They might hesitate, but there was no hesitation. She committed to that 10 and she pedaled back from it flawlessly, and the judges rewarding it with that 8.23. So Tilley, to get this world title, needs to get at least an 8.69, but with 8 minutes 25 seconds remaining, all could change. Kira Seal, watching the live action on her app there, the WSL app on her phone, I'm sure is updating the score. She's seeing what everybody needs. You can see Emily Lethbridge in the background, the brother of Rachel, Michael, sitting there watching, and of course Nick Jones, one of the great Australian surfers, who was really firing on all cylinders in this event, but unfortunately went down a little bit earlier. But right now, the energy out in the water would be electric. Both of those women, they look calm, but inside they're processing, what do I need to drop? What's my lowest scoring wave? Rachel knows she needs to drop that 6.9 and get something in the high 8s to get this second world title. Soleil needs to drop a 7.73, so sitting with that 8.23 and that 7.73, she's in the driving seat, but Rachel has been surfing good enough to get a perfect 10 all event.
Absolutely. Rachel can certainly get that perfect score to take her through to the win. That fiery surfing coming through from both of those girls, but you can feel the ice between them out at backline. You can see backs to each other. There's no conversation. This is not a friendly heat. They are here to win the world title. They want this. They are both so hungry, and that is so exciting to see coming from both competitors.
So one surfer riding the Hobie Josh Martin shapes, one surfer riding the Bill Stewart shapes there, the CMP model. Both surfers opting for 2+1 setups on their boards there. Got that 7-inch center fin and those side fins, and both surfers on the front side on these waves. And what more can a regular foot longboarder ask for to crown a world longboard title here than clean, open-faced, nose ride savvy waves? And they really are putting on a fine show, but it's come down to that committed hang 10 in the section and the way she came off it that separated Soleil up into that excellent range, and she's in the lead with priority Rachel and with the pick of this set. Shannon, is she going to go for one of these, or is she going to wait for something bigger?
She's going to let that one go and wait for something bigger. She knows that it was the set wave, so Rachel already knows the hang 10s, which she's been doing on every wave so far, but Soleil had that powerful, big, heavy set wave, which there haven't been many of them in these heats so far.
And she read it so well. The high line she took to get herself in that steep section, that was really represents the amount of free surfing she's been doing here between heats.
Absolutely, yes. Soleil has been in the water tons. Rachel has been in the water tons, but I think for now, Rachel, with that 5.5 minutes on the clock, she just needs to sit out and wait for those sets. Get that perfect hang 10 in a big critical section to match that score that Soleil has dropped down. Soleil reaching into the 8.23, so she's now probably holding 3 of the 5 top scores of this event so far. She already had 2 on the board going into this heat. She's now dropped another excellent, so she's really found a rhythm with this wave.
And you can really see where they end up in the inside there, how heavy and awkward it is getting those rides right to the inside over those cobblestones that can crush your board into pieces.
It is. It's an intimidating factor. I haven't been able to ride that far in because I'm a little bit scared that another wave is going to come behind me and it might rush me into those big pylons, those concrete pilings. So those girls are really putting it all on the line by forcing it through to those last maneuvers.
So Shannon, there's a set here obviously coming up. Is it gonna go the way of Rachel? She's got priority. So Soleil's looking to take this wave. She knows that Rachel's gonna go for wave number 2. Soleil looking to drop that 7-7-3. There's the 5, really nice soul arch there. Pedals back again, that amazing footwork, and look at that powerful sweeping drop knee. Shades of Taylor Jensen there with Soleil Erico steaming, accelerating through this section, really loose and alive, and the body language looks confident, and you can see her father Danny there cheering and clapping. But is Rachel able to answer back with something here on the horizon? With priority was with Rachel, but she opted not to take that wave. And Soleil, has she increased on her second score of a 7-7-3? Shannon, what do you think?
I don't know that she would increase it. Potentially, it was a good wave. I mean, she's surfing it with so much pizzazz, as you would say, Sam. Like, she's really surfing the way that a world champion would carry herself. She's having fun. She's looking loose. She's looking lively. She's chasing a 7.73 as her low score to better that, to put even more pressure on Rachel Tilley. With 4 minutes on the clock, Rachel is going to make us hold on to the edge of our chairs until the end of this. She is not going to give up, but she's going to be patient. She knows that wave selection is how she's going to be able to match what Soleil Erico is bringing to the table.
Do you think if Rachel opted to go for that wave, it had the potential to go into the excellent range?
I think it could have, but you didn't see that wall open up for very long. So it was that good opening nose ride section, but then it tapered off. So they laid into that rail really well, but it didn't offer that really nice, long, critical nose ride section.
Very good point, Shannon. And Soleil rewarded a 7-1-3. So she probably did everything you could do on that wave, but as you see, it probably wasn't, the shape of the wave wouldn't facilitate what really needed to happen to go into the excellent range. And it's that steep pocket that really allows you to lock that fin and that tail and get that cushioning on the nose, so you can either get that really long, critical, committed, high risk factor 5 or the full hang 10. And we've seen both of these women demonstrating great commitment to the hang 10s all final. But with just 2 minutes 45 seconds remaining, if the situation remains unchanged, the world title will go to 17-year-old Malibu surfer Soleil Erico. But can Rachel Tilley win her second WSL World Longboard title with 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining, needing that 8.69 with a set getting really near, and movement, as we can see the surfer in the red singlet, Rachel there on the right of your screen, sits up, takes the swing. Shannon, is this going to be the opportunity for Rachel?
This is the opportunity. So nice strong paddle. She's right in the pocket on takeoff, swooping into that hang 5, hang 10 combination. Great tight footwork, just flying down the line. Will this wave unravel for her on the inside? This is where it all could come together. That hang 5, hang 10, that's her third combo of that sort. Looking lively, kicks out of the back. Sam,
it was a peaky wave. It was a peaky wave. I think if it could have opened up more with more of a steeper wall, she could have really charged the nose ride. But because it was peaky, as soon as she found each 5, she had to pedal back to readjust for another nose ride section. I think that she was unlucky with the shape of that wave. She had to go for it. We're running out of time. It was a set, but right now there's another set coming through. Rachel Tilley, our 2015 World Longboard Champion, looking to drop an 8.69, but on that peaky wave, maybe it won't be enough. Currently, Soleil Erico with that 8.23 and that 7.73 with just 1 minute remaining. She's in priority. Rachel's back on the inside. Have a look at this, Shannon. What do you think on the replay?
So drives through, gets those multiple nose rides, but like you said, it's a little bit peaky. It doesn't stand up in front of her for that nose ride through the section that we want to see. It's that nose ride almost off to the shoulder where she's got the footwork excellently all placed together, but that wave doesn't give her the potential. She only lands a 5.4 with 45 seconds on the clock.
Wow.
Oh, man.
So it looks like if the situation remains unchanged, Soleil Erico, the 17-year-old from one of the cultural hotbeds of longboarding, Malibu in Southern California, is going to be the 2018 World Longboard Champion, riding her Bill Stewart CMP model. There's not going to be enough time, it looks like, for Rachel Tilley to get that second wave. Shannon, what an amazing final it's been. What are your thoughts dying into these last 20 seconds?
I think there's going to be a wave. I don't think that this game is over yet, except that Soleil is in priority. There is a little set coming, but would it have the punch that Rachel would need for the wave? Is Soleil going to let it go? Counting down And that time is up. Our new women's world longboard champion for 2018, the 17-year-old Malibu local, Soleil Erico.
Wow, what a phenomenal achievement. Congratulations, Soleil, all of you fans around the world. And look at that, what a wonderful bonding experience. Both of these young women would have competed regularly in club contests around California. They come from that grassroots of competitive club competition, and they've grown up, one of them on the left, to become 2015 world champion, and this lady in the center of your screen is the 2018 women's world longboard champion, Shannon. Wow, that's put my hair on end, and I'm sure you're feeling the same about that.
Oh, absolutely. The emotion that we can feel here in the booth, the emotion between these girls in the water it's so real. It's so lively. The two youngest World Surf League champions of all time, Rachel Tilley, just a few months younger when she won her world title. Soleil Erico, also 17 years old, having a family wave on their way in. Our world champion, absolutely claiming it. So well deserved. So beautiful to watch her just grace her way through this event.
Wow, I mean, that brings a tear to the eye to see, such a great performance from both of them, and neither of them had a bad final. Soleil surfed out of her skin, and she came back from behind. Oh, that's wonderful to see. Lindsay Steinrady, the 2011 world champion, giving a big congratulations to Soleil, and you can see her just absolutely welling up with emotion there. But Rachel Tilley, currently studying at Bond University, was looking so fresh and alive, and she was in that first semi-final, so she had more of a rest, and you wondered how Soleil could come back emotionally from that close call in the second semi-final, where with the last exchange we had to wait for about 7 minutes as the judges analysed the last two waves ridden, and Tori Gilson didn't quite get the score she needed, and Soleil had that just outburst of emotion, and perhaps for some competitors that could have drained them physically, but it didn't. She came back stronger than ever. She comes from this competitive family. Her two sisters are both pursuing careers in competitive skiing. This woman, Soleil Erico, is your reigning world longboard champion, and she congratulates her coach there, or her coach congratulates her. Taylor Jensen, 3 times world longboard champion, fellow Californian Cole Robbins, and there's Phil Rasman, our 2 times world longboard champion. And here we go, Ben Skinner and Taylor Jensen carrying Soleil Erico up the beach as Cole Robbins raises that Bill Stewart longboard behind her, and wow, what a great sight that is, with the beautiful blue water behind here at Taiwan, Jinzhen Harbor. The waves have really delivered for this final. What more can you ask for to crown a world title here?
We really couldn't have asked for anything else. Beautiful conditions, the sun is shining, the waves have been just the most picturesque for a longboard final that I have ever seen. Absolutely beautiful. Great to see the boys cheering Soleil up the beach. So excited to see this young woman hold that title for this year.
Really amazing achievement, and just that run through to the final. Didn't lose a heat. Rachel went down in that first non-elimination round and came back hard in round 2. She seemed to have the momentum. She had that great start, but it was Soleil who just got that incredible high 8 with that really good, strong, committed hang 10. There's Tony Silvani, who's a fellow Stewart team rider, and I'm going to hand over to Wingnut. He's going to come into the booth, and I'm going to kind of join the action down there to help present the world title to Soleil Erico.
So exciting. We can see the energy on the beach. Dad, Danny Erico, down there with his daughter. They have put so much work into this. The time in the water, the coaching that they brought to the table. He's really provided Soleil with the platform to be able to become a world champion, and she has certainly risen to the occasion. Absolute stunning surfing from her. I'm now going to be joined in the booth by Wingnut, who was down on the beach. Wingnut, you were there. You can feel the energy. What is it like on the beach?
There was just so much excitement building there. There's so much positive energy in both camps. These are young, popular champions, and to have another bright new face come up and become a champion on the WSL Longboard Tour, it just shows you how many great surfers are on the longboard side of the world, and how young they are, and how much beautiful history and energy there is in their surfing.
Absolutely. There's Rachel Tilley, our runner-up for this year for 2018. She was the 2015 World Longboard Champion. Soleil Erico, now the second youngest World Longboard Champion for the WSL, and what a pleasure it has been to watch her surf this week. There's been so much talent in the women's side of things. For Soleil to have risen to the occasion, she won every heat that she surfed in at this event, and that is an excellent achievement for someone so young in this scene.
And she was coming in just wanting to have, you know, a score, just try to stay in tune with everyone. You know, could I do as well as last year? Maybe do it around better. And to get to this point, so we're going to throw down on the beach to Sam if he's ready with Soleil.
On the water's edge with the 2018 Women's World Longboard Champion, Soleil Erico. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, this is insane. I can't even believe it.
Is this real or is this actually happening?
It's not real at all. It's not real. It doesn't even, like, I don't even feel like it, but hopefully it'll sink in soon. Oh, sorry.
And I mean, Soleil, that was, you know, such an incredible final. You know, have you battled in heats at club contests back in California with Rachel over the years? Is she someone you're used to surfing against?
I'm pretty used to her, but she knows this wave really well, and she picked off some good ones. And yeah, she gave me a run for my money, that's for sure.
And there was a massive statement for longboarding there with that score up in the high eights. It wasn't just your hang 10, it was the way you footworked off the nose ride. You know, the coaching that you've had from 3 times world longboard champion Taylor Jensen, you know, what difference has that made to this campaign?
Oh my God, it makes such a difference. He's so amazing. Thank you so much, Taylor. You've made me the surfer I am today, and I also want to thank my dad and my mom and just everyone who's been supporting me this whole event. Yeah, thank you.
Well, it really was something else. And, you know, also talk about some of the other women you've been surfing against. It's been a phenomenal, any one of you could have won, you know. Wow, how strong is women surfing around the world right now?
It's so strong, and I hope it gets stronger. I really do, yeah.
So what would be your message to the young 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls out there who want to get into competitive longboarding?
Just, you know, if you want something, you got to work hard for it. Like, I really worked hard for this. I sacrificed, and, you know, I wasn't sure I was going to get it, but, you know, hard work really does pay off. So if you want this, work hard for it.
And at the tender age of 17, you're a world longboard champion. You know, when did you first have this dream to be a WSL world champion?
Probably like my whole life. Yeah, definitely since I started surfing. Yeah.
And you got your dad, Danny, here. You know, has that made a difference?
Definitely. He's crying so hard right now under his glasses. But yeah, he's just so amazing. He's the best dad in the world. I can't even believe, like, he's my dad. He's just so amazing.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch. One of the most beautiful displays of longboarding we've ever seen. You're the 2018 world champion. And Will Hayden-Smith, I'm just going to bring you into the occasion to find out what the proceedings are going to be to crown this person world champion.
I think we're going to watch some highlights in the heat recap to fall off the stage here. And then we're going to come back and roll into a presentation just around the corner and give Soleil a cup that she worked really hard for today. So it's going to be really exciting. So stay tuned. We'll be back with the presentation very shortly.
So there we go. We're going to go to some highlights of the amazing surfing that we've seen. And then we're going to go to the live presentation as we crown this person here, the 2018 Women's World Longboard Champion. Thanks for watching and stay with us here at Taitung, Taiwan.
Hello, Take Two. We all know that you're stoked for the World Surf League Longboard Championship in Taiwan.
I wish I could be there to join riding those tasty, amazing waves.
I've heard the best things about Taiwan. Beautiful island, the most amazing coastline.
Don't forget about the green water and the blue skies.
You are part of something deeper. Welcome home.
This is badass!
We hope that our new movie, Aquaman, will inspire you.
Now get out there and become the next champion of the sea.
And be sure to catch Aquaman on the big screen this December.
The war is coming to the surface.
Arthur!
I got a king.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more. A hero.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the presentation here at the Women's World Longboard Championships at the Taiwan Open of Surfing. And thank you, Taiwan, for delivering such phenomenal conditions here at Jinsun Harbour. It's great to see all of you spectators here, and it's been a historic day for longboarding. Phenomenal performances from the likes of Honolulu Bloomfield and Tori Gilkison, both finishing in equal third in 2018. But I really want to thank our supporters, of course, the Taitung County Government, Taiwan Beer, which I know you'll all be enjoying in a good amount very soon, Finn, PX Mart, Roxy, Quicksilver, Taipei 101 and the Gaia Hotel. And joining me on stage is someone who's been hugely instrumental in the long-running Taiwan Open of Surfing. I'm going to welcome onto the stage Justin Huang, the Governor of Taitung. Justin, thanks for having us. It's been an incredible day. We're going to crown a world champion very soon. A few words from you about what you've witnessed.
Well, this is my final year as governor, and I'm so happy that over the last 8 years we are able to make this event a truly world-class. And especially this year, so happy to see that two beautiful ladies that they had tremendous performance, and I'm sure that there are a lot of champions waiting for them in the future. Yeah.
Joining me also on stage, we have Will Hayden-Smith, our regional tour manager and our longboard commissioner. Will, wow, we just saw something very special from women's longboarding.
Yeah, we had a super exciting day, and it was great to see two young girls going at it, and the lead went back and forth. It's all you want from a final, and really excited for Soleil. This is just the start of her career, and it's going to open a lot of doors, so it's been a really exciting day.
And Will, a massive thanks from me as a voice in the longboard community for everything you're doing for competitive longboarding. And one of our great stars, I'm going to welcome her up, our 2015 World Longboard Champion and our runner-up at the Women's World Longboard titles here from California, Rachel Tilley. Rachel, some words from you about that massive performance you just gave. Coming so close, but you've already got that world title. How are you feeling getting this second?
You know, I'm feeling really good. I was really excited for that heat just to be in another final and another opportunity to surf. And yeah, I knew having that world title already under my belt was nice. You know, it was like, well, let's just try and add to that, but nothing can take away from that. So let's just enjoy this final. And yeah, I was proud of my surfing in that final. And Soleil put up a really good fight. And clearly she surfed really well. And yeah, it was great to share another heat with her. We've shared many heats in the past. And yeah, it was a great final overall, and really happy. This is the second best result of my whole career, so I can go to bed happy tonight.
Well, congratulations, Rachel. We loved watching Rachel surf. She's one of the stars. She's got perhaps many world titles left to come, but right now the limelight is on the 17-year-old 2018 World Longboard Champion from California, Soleil Erico.
Oh, God.
Well, Soleil, some words.
Oh my gosh, this is insane. I can't even believe it. It hasn't not sunk in yet at all whatsoever. Hopefully it does. And yeah, I'm just so thankful for all the support from my mom and my dad, Taylor, you know, all my friends and family, everyone, especially Rachel. You are so fierce and so amazing. You are such a good competitor. Oh my God. Yeah, thank you so much.
That was an amazing final, and I'm going to let Will Hayden-Smith crown you the 2018 Taiwan Open of Surfing winner there. And here we come with that big thing that you've been dreaming about for so long. The 2018 World Longboard Champion goes to Soleil Erico from Southern California, Malibu. So let's hear it as loud as possible for our world champion, Soleil Erico. Keep that beer coming. Well, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We've got so much more to happen here at the Taiwan Open of Surfing. Thanks so much for all your support. We've got men's world titles to crown tomorrow. We've got the junior division coming up. And last words from our world champion, Soleil. What have you got to say after getting absolutely drowned in beer? But I'm sure it's worth it.
It was so worth it. I've been dreaming for this moment like my whole life, every night before I go to bed, and I just can't believe it's reality.
One last year for our world champion, Soleil Erico!
Hello, Take Two. We all know that you're stoked for the World Surf League Longboard Championship in Taiwan.
I wish I could be there to join riding those tasty, amazing waves.
I've heard the best things about Taiwan. Beautiful island, the most amazing coastline.
Don't forget about the green water and the blue skies.
You are part of something deeper. Welcome home.
This is badass!
We hope that our new movie, Aquaman, will inspire you.
Now get out there and become the next champion of the sea.
And be sure to catch Aquaman on the big screen this December.
The war is coming to the surface.
Arthur!
I'm not a king.
Atlantis has always had a king. Now I need something more. A hero.